They're set towards B early on. This has normally been the recipe to success. Flash is nice. Going to get ZywOo off the angle. If he tries to go back, he's not going to like what he sees. Just exchanges a nade over in mid and then hops on out of there. Now posting himself over on the long side, trying to get Masuta down in the pit. This is hopefully going to free up Apex a little bit more, who's currently down in CT, to lend a helping hand in middle. He might need it. Apex dead right away, hopping around the corner. Last time he fell without getting a kill, that led to Faze winning a round. This time the explosion, the quick ramp up of pace isn't there for Faze. They drop into a very slow round now in the 5-on-4, trying to make this one happen. They need a third if they want to have any hope of pulling this one back.
Who's on the site, I ask? Who is waiting? It's ZywOo.
I mean, the bomb's still tunnel. Like, I don't even think this is the A play. Yeah, they're going to drop Jerry into CT, and he gets down with no one having seen it.
That's big, but they still have to cross, and they finally get the smoke down. One available, and it's at the perfect time. Still too strong at B. Magis, that's lovely. Gets the info at the peak. Is there any assistance here? Dupree has that cross. Magis takes the kill. Dupree next contact. He follows up. Almost 2. Getting his revenge. Zorti is on 10 health, and this half is done. Like it or not, it's 13-2 for Vitality. Fantastic round to close it out, despite Faze having all the advantage and all the position. Vitality are here to play and here to long out this best-of-3 series to Mirage. They are simply moments away from that third map in the series. And Forza have gone quiet on their map pick at the worst possible time. It's not just about losing this map, it's about losing it dominantly. You feel like you were never in. You feel like all that warmed-up play that you had on Nuke is gone. And it's Vitality carrying momentum to Mirage. Just a couple of rounds out.
Yeah, we questioned, you know, if losing their map pick, even though it's a competitive bout, you know, would that light the fire beneath them? And it certainly looks like it has here on Dust 2. A win in the pistol pretty much seals the deal that this is a 3-map series. I mean, even without it, it's still probably a 3-map series. ZywOo taking a peek in middle, just making noise. Making Faze paranoid. There are only 2 inside of this A site. And luckily enough, they do win the cat engagement. Kenzie taps out another. It's clean in this pistol. Looking to keep 5 alive when all is said and done.
Sheesh.
And so Faze at least get that under their belt, but it's still a long way to go before we even hype up this comeback out of Faze.
Oh, but you never know. You never know. That's the beauty of Counter-Strike, Harry. Every game is winnable. Just take it round by round. Mental can be shattered. Vitality want those guns ASAP, so they just go for a quick eco. We'll have a buy in the third. Shalfie and Lower. Here to take names. But it's Vitality taking their sweet time. Let Faze sit and sweat in the scoreline.
Yeah, Vitality, you know, they're just kind of treating this like a bit of a timeout. They're not expecting to win this one.
Could be a good warm-up for Kenzie.
That's a good point. Like, if he gets a little mow down here, starts to feel a bit more faith, eco frags can do a lot to a man. And have a chance here. Tagged, lined up, and on for the ace. He's going to get all 5 of them as they emerge around the corner at long. Okay, out of all the ways to build a bit of confidence, there's nothing quite like an eco ace. Vitality don't have to be concerned yet. They're probably not even worried at all. No one's probably even thinking about the idea of a comeback. You never know what's happening until it's too late.
Yeah, exactly. That's the worst part. Come on, guys, just one more round. Just win a rifle. But this is where I expect Vitality to just come swinging. Faze have read it. They've gone for the triple long. It's a good start. Smoke will stop any Molotov madness, and so well, Vitality won't even take it. They'll peel back, but it's still without punishment, so they concede the position. But they have a whole round to play. Solo B on Shalfie, and no matter who it is and how good they are, that's always a liability on this map. As soon as Vitality figure that out, they will abuse it. Late cat smoke. As Vitality are re-mollied out of long. Apex sending Dupree back to the B-bomb site.
Yeah, lobbing in the Xbox smoke as well. Going to go up and over.
Just jump up from lower.
Trying to give him a helping hand in getting up onto the catwalk. That re-smoke at long, little hand in getting up onto the catwalk. That re-smoke at long, little problematic, right? Gonna have to wait till around.
His utility has been really good this round, but you know, Vitality's bleeding it out, and there's not much left. They've got HEs to try and dunk Vitality on this A site, and Faze even taking Cat. This is a good time to do it. Fantastic HEs, and Kenzie's position's pretty prominent.
Yeah, Vitality might be getting out long.
Oh boy.
But it's this cat fight that could decide a hell of a lot in this round. Three of them moving through this long smoke. ZywOo. He's going to open up with one into the site players. Is that going to be enough though? Kenzie holding the line, refusing to let up. ZywOo's got no time to plant. Jerry, the man to close it. And I mean, now, you know, Faze winning the first rifle, starting to build a bit more confidence up, right? Kenzie came into this second half with, I think it was like 2 kills to his name, now rising to prominence alongside the rest of the gang.
I'm not going to get worried off of one gun round. Vitality give a lot of respect to Faze in, but that was really well played for Faze.
Well,
like, they knew exactly what was going on the entire way. They stalled with every bit of util they could. The long doors re-smokes, the molly when the the Xbox smoke came down, the double nade on Cat, the position taken on Cat to stop that split. Everything was really clean for Forza. It's their map pick, right? We expect them to be good. It's just, you know, the odds are against them, the score is against them, and a couple of well-placed rounds, a good call from Apex, a contact play that Faze aren't ready to trade, and it can all come tumbling down very quickly. But that was a good round.
Yeah, it's weird though, because like the one thing that is kind of a little just in the back of my mind, right? I'm not saying it's going to happen. The thing that's in the back of my mind is that first half, a lot of it, the reason why I didn't feel like you were watching just a normal game of CS is because in a way you weren't. It wasn't like the same level of respect, the same level of, you know, both teams being allowed to kind of run their ideas. It was just full disrespect from Vitality, and that comes with a great deal of confidence. But now, that just kind of comes with the territory of you getting off to a hot start. Now they're actually getting pressured a bit. They have to kind of move away from that very confident mindset of, we can fight this, we can fight that, like, we're just better than them. That's kind of, you know, in these last few rounds, that's not really been the case. And so it's just, you know, can they move back to the more cut and dry, more standard ebbs and flows of a CS game? Out onto the short side. Masuta seems to think so. The Eagle to open. Kenzie will trade one. He needs to do a lot more than that, and he will hold the line with yet another mow down. In these A-side defenses, Kenzie's been the man, and with Zorti there to help him. It's another round on the board for Faze.
Yeah, only pistols, but a couple of nice shots there out of the Deegs of Vitality. Still a lock-in round. I was a bit scared there. Kenzie peeked very late off his flashbang, but was still able to tuck in Goose, and they couldn't clean him out. Honks on their parade. But it's 13-6, and with every eco comes the following gun round. So Vitality leaning B. Beautiful start, right? We know Shalfie has been alone here in this bomb site. Now it's Norvi. If Vitality smoke a molly and go for it, man, why not? Shalfie, that's beautiful though. Norvi spams them. They smoked the molly. They wanted to go, but he denies that first man in. And so back to the drawing board, back to a 3-on-5, and back to the T-spawn for Vitality.
Yeah, and you know, they tried something new here. They tried to just go for like a set strat out of spawn. Apex lobbed in this kind of like cool smoke that would extinguish a molly in the long doors, coupled it with a flash, and he did all that from T-spawn so that he could try, you know, keep it mobile and panic, you know, the long players. But Force didn't fall for it. And so you've tried, you know, you kind of spawn exec, your attempt to do something there after the defaulting didn't really work earlier. This one's not looking so hot either. Vitality with 3 are creeping up Cat, and they have found this gap. Right as Zorti has left this entirely, they've moved in. And they're going to get deep within the A site before it even dawns on Faze that this could happen. A one and done there is really about as good as you could have hoped for Zorti, considering he didn't have that info wide on the angle as he went swinging out into that one.
It's Molly.
It's a 4v2 to decide if Faze keep the rounds racking up. Do Vitality pull one out of the hat? Flashes at long. ZywOo wants to peek with this. Making a swing into CT, but as he does so, Kenzie emerges. And Magic's dead as well. Kenzie, since getting that ace, looks like a new man. Was nowhere to be found in that first half, and now he's risen to top of the board for Faze in what feels like the blink of an eye.
Yeah, I think that ace got him from 5 to 10 kills, and now he's at 17. Unbelievable. Incredible recovery in just a few rounds. Faze now on fire with 5 in a row. Yet to break the seal have Vitality on this T half. And with every buy comes an eco. What goes around comes around. Can't buy up again. Even with the bomb plant, not enough. They just want to get a half E with some util. They get to test Faze again. A B rush denied in that round. And even Vitality getting a plant there is maybe more than they should be allowed, considering Zorti just got very unfortunate with his timings. We have a double orb, and Xiaofi is continuing to be aggressive. Last time he pushed up middle, and this time he's deep in tunnels, but can't go too far. They'll be able to trade it. So, nice shot, but can he escape? Yep, just about around the corner. Molly dropped, and Xiaofi lives. Vitality can't do much about it, and with 2 players at B, they now know, who can constantly cycle utility and keep this rush out of Vitality. It's going to send them back up Cat. Mid-smoke will help them. They still have to jump over it, though. And look who's here. El Verde Grande. Xiaofi won't see them get up. And so, this is nice for Vitality. They have a chance, but there's still Zorti on the site.
Kenzie doesn't have any like supportive utility, but just him being here and able to offer a helping hand is big. And Molly's divided the push. ZywOo gets ahead of it. Only one. He's traded afterwards. Jerry now playing inside of the site. Gonna duck on out of there. They are getting closer though. These pistols are moving in for the kill. Jerry with the mow down, and there's the support from Kenzie we talked about earlier. Catches them crossing, and now Faze are getting animated. They're talking again. They're getting loud. They're believing in this comeback from a 13-2 half. They're making us believe.
It's kind of crazy that we're even here. Yeah, Vitality calling out their first tack timeout.
This is where, right, remember earlier we were saying, into the first try for one, we said, no one's thinking yet that this could go wrong. No one's thinking yet that Faze are going to come back. That pause signifies that the mood has changed. And now they're going, okay, guys, let's just win this. We cannot let this one get away from us.
Well, you said earlier you can't artificially build confidence. Well, that's not screaming confidence. It's screaming a bit of nerves. And rightly so, right? Pause, definitely not a bad decision. Get Zonic in, coach of many years gone by. But even so, Faze looking really solid on the CT side. The double AWP is devastating. Zorti gets 1 deke there, and that was the way in for Vitality, exploding off of that kill. But great util again has been the name of the game for Faze. That molly segregated the rest of Vitality from ZywOo out wide on Cat. ZywOo's gone wide out mid, but it's Xiaofi who might give up this 5-on-4. How does he hit that? And Magisk was not with him. He was holding up a tunnel in case it was a double push. It is a double push. 2 AWPs in mid. Both find a pick. And then suddenly they disappear.
It's just brutal right out of the gate, isn't it? And now, like, over towards long, you're hoping, oh, Masuta.
Nice.
All right, well, best sortie. Hard fight for him to
Jerry.
have won, but are you ready for this? Oh, Masuta is! All right, little double on the long side. There's a third man, a third contestant, and Kenzie will win the grand prize, gets that trade onto Masuta. Still, there's another man, long bound. Apex, with that flash, has given up the aim of the game. They know he's out on the long side. Kenzie plays inside of the site. This guy, so quiet in the first half. Now trying to save the day once again over in A. Shalfie's rotating middle. They've heard the footsteps. They know what's happening. While Apex is pushing the go button, Magisk is going back.
Nice.
They clear out Shalfie, clear out the AWP. Apex now responsible for this entry into the A bomb site. Instead, playing around this smoke. Going to start to lean away, give Magisk a bit of room. If he wins this, Vitality can turn it all around. If he falls, it gets so tough, it gets so rough, and Magisk just looks away. Now it is only Apex, 20 seconds, time is not his ally here. The one thing he's got going for him is this 1v1 is available, and he's gonna get it. Now just Norvi left to beat, a long wrap, and there's Apex with the clutch, a double up from the captain of Vitality.
It was about time, wasn't it? He was the guy absolutely shredding Faze in the first half, and he finally went quiet in this T side. He was getting picked first. He wasn't offering up much, but that was a lovely slowdown in the 2-on-3 for Vitality. They make it work. Beautiful shooting from Azuta. That's how it even started. Like, this kill should never have come through onto Jerry, and Apex, he does him right. He does him just. 14 rounds for Vitality after 6 in a row from Faze. But Shalfie has a response. Long spawn on his own as well, and he gets that pick to Magisk. Faze, it's a bump in the road, but they keep driving.
Nades are nice. They're kind of giving this illusion that there's no one in tunnels. And once you spot that up, you definitely won't be ready for a second man here. Jerry's going to start to take a bit of space on his own. And it is getting pincered from the top of tunnels. Zywoo looking the wrong way, is shot in the back. And now they've cleared the tunnels. They know there's only one place that Vitality can be right now. And that's out here towards long. Shalfie, not wanting to waste any time with this, is taking fights right away. Using this AWP at range, it's going to do its best work here. In with one, but he's not content with that. They flash him in for another, putting on a show with this AW. He's going to close out the round. Phenomenal scenes as he picks up 4.
Who's the main AWP again? Someone remind me. Dude, since his first AWP, do you remember his first CT AWP? He did an Xbox smoke in middle, and he ran through it and picked Apex in top middle. So, yeah, he's full of confidence with this AWP. He's been lower, he's been upper, he's been on the A side, he's long picking. Shalfie's all over the place. One of the young'uns, one of the first major players for Faze. Case for many of them. But, yeah. Smoke goes very deep on long, not what Vitality had in mind. Faze can fight through it. The AWP can even help, but no one was going long anyway. It's a B upper hold with 4. Shalfie ready to uncrouch on contact. Doesn't want to get deeged. Norvi tucked in at car. Bottom performer for Faze. We've seen recoveries from Kenzie, but Norvi, this is his round now. If Shalfie goes down, Norvi has to perform. You can't give Vitality guns and a sight.
Yeah, Shalfie can pick them off one at a time, but Norvi's the man needed for the spray. Oh, Shalfie with a double. Norvi's dead. Shalfie's the man to do it all. This AWP at the back of the site. In with 3. Needs to do even more than that, though, because his teammates have fallen all around him. Zorti moves in. It's a double AWP. Double AWP moving into this B site. Magisk threading the needle in between them. Up in the face of Shalfie, and he's now gone. Zorti left up in this. Doesn't know where Masuda is, where he's gotten to, and amidst all this downtime, bomb still at B. Zorti moving in, not ready for Magisk. He's not considering it at all, looking the wrong way. Magisk has slipped him. Slipped one past the keeper and running in. Zorti's going to turn on a dime.
No idea.
A 1v1, but he's got no clue where Masuta could be. Going to check out the window, and he sees him, but Masuta wins it. Vitality, they pull up onto a 15th. They do it with that B rush, with the quick B play on pistols. In spite of Shalfie's best efforts, 3 from the back of the site, it's not enough.
I don't know what Zorti thought, where he thought Magisk went there, right? Like, he saw the bomb in the middle of the open. He knew Magisk was on the bomb site. There's only so far he could be. Very nice try, but we've had the Frenchman come in with a couple of clutches now in Masuta and Apex, and it has absolutely saved the bacon of Vitality. Great work from Magis to even get them in that position. The entries out of the B tunnels were a necessity to set them up for the clutch. And my God, this has been a very stressful game for Vitality, but with a couple of rounds dotted in here and there on the T side, that's all they needed. It was meant to be a far quicker affair. Now Faze face a third map in the series if they don't get 6 in a row to start the clock over. Screaming Vitality more than ever, but this double AWP has continued to take space all over the map. Xbox smoke misses, careful, but that's a B pick. Norvi again let down, he got nothing last round, and finally a missed shot. Sometimes that's all it takes. Mirage is loaded in the barrel. Vitality just have to pull the trigger.
Yeah, this is one of these rounds where if it wasn't up against map point, you'd be saving. So they're going to try and give it a go anyway, but they're very far removed. They're carrying flanks that don't exist, and it's wasting a lot of time off the clock here. By the time Kenzie's even in position, this bomb is going to be half-ticked. At that point, you're doing this up-tempo. You're doing this as fast as you can, and a tag through the doors on Dezorti does not help by any margin. Magis playing for the round win. If all else somehow goes awry, he's going to be there to be the man stealing it away. It's never needed, not with ZywOo lining them up in the tunnels, and everyone else is locked out. They might try to run him down, but Jerry's left running for the hills as Vitality take us the distance. In this series, we're going to Mirage.
This is exactly what we wanted. This is exactly what we needed. A third map in this series. There was a bit of fear somewhere in the middle of the map as we saw some fantastic rounds out of Faze on their CT side, but as it always should have been after a 13-2 half, Vitality managed to close it out. Some clutch individual moments, the same sort of players we saw back on Nuke stepping up in a big way, plus Apex, right? He had so much impact on that CT side, coming in with just numerous bait and switches on B, on mid, multi-kills, openers, closers, clutches. We had so much to actually enjoy for Vitality, whereas it felt very dismaying on Nuke.
Yeah, I think there's so much to talk about. I can imagine our desk going to have a field day with this one. I guess the only way to find that out is just to throw it on back to them. What did y'all make of this?
We had a lot of fun watching that. Some Vitality fans were probably a little bit stressed that Faze ended up making a little bit of a run for it at the end there, but a much better showing out of Vitality. And I think Apex is going to take up a lot of our time here because we gave him a hard time. Mathieu, you gave him a pretty hard time after Nuke, but this game I think also shows when it does go his way, what he can do.
Yes, night and day for Apex, honestly, if you compare Nuke to Dust 2. This time around, on the CT side mostly, he was always in the right position. He's had so many impactful multi-kills where he read the attack perfectly. Either was hiding towards middle, hiding towards the B side. Multi-kills on top. This time around, he's helping towards long. Obviously, that round right here, we are going to talk about it. That was a swing one. So props to Apex. He did exactly what I asked him to do. He bounced back from Nuke.
No, and he showed patience. I think on Nuke, there was a lot of stress situation where he overextended in duels. Here, he took his time. It was well executed pretty much every time we saw Apex on the screen. He had sick this clutch especially.
That's a huge clutch as well, absolutely.
We're going to look at it again later as well. He's also the man of the match, and I think that is fitting. And there was such a stark contrast in the way that on Nuke, Forza was able to always dictate the pace, always make the first move. And especially in the first half of this game, Vitality closed the door on them, right? That could have not just have been Apex, but what was kind of their system to avoid getting letting them come into the game?
Look, I think ZywOo was a huge factor. Huge factor in the beginning of this game. He quickly went up to 14 kills in about 6 to 7 rounds. He had a triple kill on the CT pistol. He mounted up the AWP and he punished Forza when they attempted to play the A side very quickly. So if you're Jerry, it just feels like in about 10 minutes, your tactical tree has just reduced to like a branch. That's what you need. This is the only thing you can do is like play the B split because ZywOo was closing the A side.
And it's it's a little bit tilting these moments when you get B side for free and Apex is hiding, they're planting the bomb and he shuts you down. That's like a mental, you know, you lose that round and you're bit done.
It's a checkmate. It's a
Yes.
psychological checkmate.
Yes.
It's like the lessons taken from Nuke, where you said, okay, Forza is able to problem solve super quickly, come up with, okay, this is the riskiest road, but we're going to take it immediately, and it's going to give us success. This time, you have one side on lockdown. You have the other half of the team just making sure that they always catch the moves that you may make to the other side, and the door was closed. How much stock do we put into the fact that Forza was able to build up a couple of rounds by the end, had a couple of clutches, had Zorte with some beautiful moments in terms of how hard they're taking this loss and what they can take into Mirage?
I think it's always like when you play Dust 2, especially the new version of Dust 2, the T side is extremely frustrating to play. It was already quite frustrating before.
Yeah.
Some teams were really, really strong on the CT side with the utility usage to block those execute. And you usually ended up in a very low amount of time. But now with this update, with pretty much CT owning Dark, they have full control over the mid section of the map. I think it's very, very difficult to regain that time loss that you need to spend grabbing the map control.
I think what we have seen from Vitality in that second half, which is basically a few individuals having brilliant moments. We had the Apex 1v2 on the A side. We had Magisk sneaking in the smoke on B. It kind of tells the story of what Dust 2 has become now. Very rarely do we see a T side absolutely, outplaying the opponents, having perfect execute. It's more about creating these 2v2s and then hoping that your individuals will make the difference.
And good for Vitality that their individuals were making the difference in this one. A couple of Apex rounds we want to look at. He'd be really angry if we didn't also show the good moments.
We have to.
Aside from the bad ones. Round 22. That was a beautiful clutch, Maniac.
Yeah, I have a problem remembering what we are looking at. Oh, this is the madness round. Yes, it is.
Crazy.
It's the beautiful aggression from Forza at the very beginning. It's the two entry kills. Mizuta doing God's work right there with that double entry on the A side to try and put them back together in a 3 versus 3. He's going to be punished quite quickly. But still, the 2v3 is aptly played. You can see how Magisk is punishing that attempt at regaining some information. And something that Apex is doing this round, which he hadn't done in the entire of the first map, is take it easy. Take it slow. He plays it nice and well. He's got time. He knows the CT is hiding behind the Gandalf box. And look at this. He's still walking, still watching. And then here is the Vista. That's the intuition. If he hasn't picked me short, he's long. Headshot beautiful 1v2.
Yeah.
Beautiful finish. Nice to see.
No, it's great to see him step up and be the leader and really take charge of the team and show how possible it is, because he's not known to be the strongest individual player on the team, right? And when he can produce these numbers, it's going to elevate the rest of the team coming up into Mirage.
It's the ideal scenario. But how is it usually that they like to win games? Because I don't often or always see Apex at the top of the scoreboard, but I always see him having his impact, right?
Sure.
So on Mirage, is this going to be the same game plan?
I think on Mirage, we can see Apex
Yeah.
have very great games. I think his position is also kind of poised to be involved in a lot of duels. And this is, I want to say, the flip coin for Vitality. It's like if we get the good Apex who actually gets these multi-kills, who reads the game, who's one step ahead of Jerry, knows where he has to be and where he needs to find the impact, perfect. If we see Nuke Apex struggling a little bit, maybe not finding his timing, crossing smokes, but he shouldn't, could also be a liability.
In terms of the identity of the map, of course, Mirage does feel a little bit more like Dust 2 than Nuke did, right? So there's going to be a big task up for Jerry. We're going to take a look at a couple of highlights, but when we come back, we are going to talk at length about Mirage and how Forza can craft a plan to beat Vitality, or see if Vitality will grab their Legends spot.
succeed in this game, you need to invest in yourself. Be daring. Innovate. Calculate. Never hesitate. Follow your instincts. Don't follow the crowd. Back yourself. Bank your wealth. Analyze, strategize, and galvanize. Now is the time. Take your shot.
Esports is what we live and breathe. For us, it's more than a game. It's a reality, where a group of letters can mean everything. Where Mirage is a place for bombs, battles, and glory, not an illusion. Where the true heroes are those in front of the screen. GG Bet. This is real.
We know this man is very good at working with new players, but does he have hidden talents in map design? Yes, it's time for the map design challenge. I've got Jerry, the in-game leader for Faze, with me now. Jerry, how do you feel about your drawing skills?
I don't know. It's kind of hard because you just asked me about drawing, right?
Yeah.
So my drawing is like 0 level. So I will try to increase it to 1. I don't especially remember the name, but I will try to. So let's go. We will start with the big circle.
Circular map. This is the first circle we've had in the design challenge, so I like this already.
Yes, but the circle is just the first step because...
Oh.
Yeah. Because we will need some areas.
I like it, good. Oh, we've got little water currents.
Oh, something like that.
He can draw, it's lovely detail.
So, the thing is, the city spawn, it's like not a big square. I will not draw it till the end, but the thing is, and we will have a ladder over here.
So people get like a bridge that people can go over the river. Oh, we're going upstairs.
Yes.
Oh, it's a moat.
We have for the B side over here, but to go here, let's say we have 2 entries. Say we have entry over here, and let's say we can go like upstairs somewhere here. It's like a, I will say, ladder. And T-spawn can go directly over here and go through the roof window. There is another ladder over here, but just towards the side. So in this thing, it's gonna be wooden. So you can have all the B side to shoot through this upstairs. So city, if they want to retake, they need to double molo here and here.
So you can literally go from spawn to spawn. You do have this cheeky rotation here.
Yes, exactly. That's why I need here and here some, you know,
some cover.
Little buildings or coverings, yeah. So we can try to do, for example, the little house over here.
Mm-hmm.
So we can go through here and here. There is some windows. And here we can do some kind of plateau upstairs.
Platform? Yeah.
As well, it's level 2 upstairs. And we will have some boxes over here. I got some ladder here. We will do a window over here. And we need more structures. So we can use utility nades to go, for example, here. So we can look for the upstairs, the guys who goes from T-spawn to up or from roof. And I want some cover here. So if you can take it from city, you can see the whole rotation from this side. We need to do pier over here. and it's going to be the
So that's like a boathouse, potentially.
yes, boathouse, exactly. So we need to take another side A as a boathouse, so we get the cities to get fast here and here. So what do we have? We have a boathouse with some abandoned cars. We can do rocks like over here, so it make it more harder to go to see all the rotation.
Whereabouts is this map set? We didn't decide, did we?
It could be Georgia, Morocco, because I just think we need, you know, there's a background thing with mountains and things, so we are like just almost inside the canyon. So it could be a quarry actually, but we needed then to do some really, well, for this one it could have been a rock station when you know, break the rocks.
A quarry?
Yeah, quarry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But after that we can we can explain what is this station. It's going to be like a building with some techniques inside, yeah?
Yep.
Because I'm not able to draw it.
Forklifts and things. I love that there's so much thought going into this, Jerry, but what is the map going to be called?
I'm thinking about Circle to Death or something like that. It's kind of strange.
Circle of Death. DE Circle of Death.
Circle Death already.
Death Circle.
Yeah, could be like that.
Do you want to call it that?
Yes, let's do
Okay,
it like that.
write it down, make it official then.
Let's
DE Death Circle. Good. Oh, and you got to sign it. You got to sign your work. Make sure no one steals the rights to your map when it goes into the game and makes theirs. Thank you so much. Congrats. And also, good luck with the rest of the major.
Welcome back, everyone. We're gearing up for Mirage as Jerry, I think, is trying to be a circle of death or a death ball towards Vitality on this one. He was going to, you know, he had to draw. That's why we still have time. So, no, it's not true. They are taking a little bit more time because, of course, this is the decider. The decider map for these two teams. Who is going to take that Legends spot? So, we are on to Mirage. Mathieu, you told me that Vitality's Mirage was bad. They've put a lot of work into it, and now it's better. What was it first, and where do they shine now on this map?
I think just historically, to set the scene, the duo, the Danish duo, Jisk and Dupree coming in, notoriously did not put a lot of effort and really mastery into Mirage in their careers, right? That was a map Astralis didn't really play too much. They come in here. Vitality, on the other hand, had played the map, but I don't think they had figured out exactly how they wanted to play. So you ended up with a core of 5 players who were trying to find the light in a very dark Mirage. They didn't really know, but it has come to fruition. There's nothing we can say against that. The last 4 times we've seen them play, it's a very tight loss to Faze, to Na'Vi, and there's wins after that against Mouse and Astralis. It really feels like they're on the up and up, and they figured out their identity.
Yeah, the one thing for Force you could mention is they do play the map a lot. They like the map, and they have actually beaten ENCE on that map, 16-14 win. So that is one little tidbit that could go into Force's favor, but we saw a very, very dominant Mirage previously against Astralis. Yeah. So it's going to be a very, very tough task for them.
And you were very harsh on Mirage when it came out that that would be the decider map. You don't like it at all.
I don't like it.
Why is that?
It's one of these maps where I think there's not a lot of creativity to expand the play style, the
meta, I guess.
Yeah, the meta. It's already developed in some way.
The reason why I ask you this is because I want to go back to kind of what it has come down to, right? You had the individuals on Vitality really stepping up on the previous map on Dust 2. We had Forza doing the same, but on Nuke. And we saw a lot of problem solving coming out of Jerry. But this is not necessarily a map in which you can think outside of the box so much. So might that be a column in kind of the difficulty and the adversity for Forza on this one?
I think there's 2 things to look at. I think, yes, you can't be that creative, but they like simple solutions. They like very hard, aggressive styles, and that works very well on Mirage. Whilst I think the key component for Vitality would be to try to stop that, negate that, good utility usage, good flash plays, and yeah, that will make it difficult.
If we want to put the scope on a Vitality player for 1 second, it has to be Misuta for multiple reasons. First of all, you look at 2022, you only look at Mirage, and Misuta is the lowest rated player for Vitality. That's a 0.8. It's a very, very low number. But then you look at the game versus Astralis, and suddenly he comes alive. He's got these multi-kills, he locks down the B side, he retakes on A. Now, are we going to get that Misuta? Because suddenly, Vitality look way more balanced across the board.
Looks completely different. Apex, they're lounging in the Secret Labs chair, who is the official chair sponsor for this event as well. So for Vitality, Maniac, you were talking to me in the break a little bit about their setup. Can you share it with the viewers? What is Vitality's setup on Mirage?
So what we should expect is obviously the man that we have on our screen right here. Misuta is going to be doing the fair share of the work on the B side. He'll be anchoring. He's going to get some help from Dupree, who's played that catwalk position. Zywoo is going to sometimes start window with the AWP, but we know he'll move around. And then you're going to have Apex and Magisk on the A side. That used to be a duo that was very fragile when they started playing Mirage. First of all, Magisk had to discover a little bit how the meta was updated, I guess, on the A side, and Apex had to find his rhythm. It looked much better recently, but that's still the duo that I would keep an eye on.
Yeah, it's also the hardest, in my opinion, one
like
of
to
the
play the A side?
hardest sites to anchor in the entirety of Counter-Strike.
It's quite chaotic.
Because of that, like, once they smoke, you know, top con, they can go upstairs, and depending on the rotation and the pressure from the T side, you're kind of being left on an island on A side where they can both poke you from A apps and slope. So we gotta have to keep an eye on that because Force are gonna take some timings.
And it circles back to the conversation about communication for Vitality. And we know, and we hear them, look at this. This is Forza getting ready right now.
Well, I got hyped because of that. Yeah. That was great.
We talk about the communication for Vitality being obviously sometimes an issue. They went from being both Danish and French speaking to now English. That also comes into play when Magisk is on that A side. And when shit's going down, for lack of a better word, then they have to immediately update each other as to what's happening. I got you. They can be there. This is where the communication can be an issue.
And I love that now we have arrived at this point, and it's about these journeys for both of these teams and now these big tests, right? For the side of Forza, before that, people saying, can they take down a top team, yes or no, because we haven't seen it yet. They can shut people up now. Not just that, book their ticket to the Legend stage. And in terms of the development for Vitality, the aspirations that this roster has, the possibility that this roster has, this is, I think, one of those key moments because you are now expected to win, actually. You have done very well on this map. You are versus a lower-rated opponent, Devil. So there's a lot up in the air, and there's probably a lot in the hearts and in the brains of these players now.
No, I think so. But the more the pressure is mounting, I still favor Force in the mental game in this map.
You do?
I really do. Even though they come out from a victory on Dust 2, I thought it became a little bit shaky at the end. And I do have some hope for Force on Mirage.
Ooh, Maniac.
It's small. I'll go for Vitality, of course. I wonder.
Quelle surprise!
Quelle surprise! Everyone is short, gasping noise. No, I just like the likes of Kenzie, Zorti, Norway. When was the last time you were almost qualifying to the Legends?
Oh!
You know, they have to show it right now.
That's true.
That's a great moment. That's a defining moment in their career. On the side of Vitality, they've played that multiple times.
I see.
Side of Forza, they
you
still
can
have to do
only,
it.
like, if you haven't gotten the opportunity, you can't take it. Right?
And they can do it right now, right here.
They can do it right now, Forza. We'll see, because Vitality is in their way. Take it away.
Ah, yes, thank you very much. I'm Harry, and yeah, we got a banging one here, right? It's going the distance, going all the way to Mirage. This is where, you know, the Force squad going to try and pull it back. I don't think it's working, Hugo.
It doesn't work?
No, it looks all right, but, you know, we almost had him. We almost
small.
had him. I don't know, it's a mixture. My arms are massive. I'm a tank of a human being.
All right, rub it in.
Yeah, no, dude, this has been super exciting so far, right? For Force, I actually think they have a pretty good chance here on Mirage. They've got some legit wins, man. I'm talking victories over the likes of like ENCE, Big, a couple of other like big squads here, even close games versus the likes of Na'Vi. So I think, you know, you'd be surprised just how much resilience they're going to be able to give Vitality. I like that, you know, many kind of homed in on someone like Masuta here to keep an eye on and how key he is to these Mirage victories. Let's see, though. We've gone the distance. It's a full 3-map series to decide who's going to be getting Legend status out of Force or Vitality. And it opens with a quick B play in the pistol.
Yeah, just flying through. Norby hasn't been spotted. That's a quick tap. Zywoo gone. They're going to try wide swing him. Dupree does trade. Another B site's been lost through the smoke. No chance. As Mizuta was watching that down. Dupree firing bursts and bullets to the head. Zorti on 1 health. as now this round gets converted shortly. The late flank for Jerry is simply too late to be of any impact. And Vitality on the board, on their T side, looking for their third map on Mirage in a row.
Yeah, that's in amidst the sea of kind of, close games, but never quite victories. You know, they finally started to what feels like find their footing here on this map. So I do think that gives a far more exciting closer. Already opening with the pistol. Vitality are keen to repeat their success from Dust 2.
Yeah, I mean, we were worried about this possibility for Forza after they moved away from the more tactical nuke, where it definitely seemed like they were just making the better calls. They had the better T side. They were rumbling Apex's feathers. Then we go to a very loosey-goosey map of Dust, for the individuals just carry Vitality through, and they look to do the same again here on Mirage. Mizuta, a big part of that win versus Astralis, as the desk were putting it just the other day on this map. Double entry out ramp. All Scout saw something, but won't take their head, and it might just have to be the save. Give it up, go home. Vitality 2-0. Meanwhile, Harry, shears have been dead, tears have been shed, and pick'ems have been dead, as IHC managed to pick up their first dub up against the Renegades, 2-0, eliminating the Aussies from the major, and putting them down 0-3.
Yeah, sad way for it to go, right? Pretty poor tournament as a whole from the Renegades, man. I think even looking at like the RMRs, they kind of struggled their way through that, right? It was surprising that IHC were the ones to come through first anyway, and that just kept up as we got into the major itself. I don't think they're going to be happy with the results of this one. I can imagine there's going to be some pretty big talks at the end of it all. But yeah, man, no one wants to be that first team going down 0-3. We did get our answer, and we're going to have more answers. 9Z taking on Team Liquid, who I think, that's a pretty interesting one going over on the B stream, especially the fact that Liquid are even in that position. If you think it's kind of disappointing for Renegades to go 0-3, imagine if that fate befell the Liquid squad.
Yeah, definitely. Why be 0-3 when you can be 3-0? That's where we are right now in this last map to see who's going to be going through to the Legends stage. Vitality running amok in middle. We got a Zeus on Shalfie as well. He's coming up on Catwalk. Maybe. Oh, why'd you peek? They were coming to you. Magisk just runs him down with a Mach 10. And this is the round. Good as done. Vitality even have the A site. So Apex looking for some backstabs perhaps. Nice catch for Kenzie. But again, the flank is being Vitality on for a third round. Very loose round right now. I'm enjoying watching this. Forza not going to give given much respect, and that was the way the Vitality did it on Dust as well. Obviously, it was the CT side that they went 13-2 up on. Forza now at least have that benefit of the defense here, more than often favored. What you want to get out of the way first. And we've seen these AWPers have been incredible. These CIS AWPs, always known to be some of the best in the world. Dupree, he's running out ramp, man. Just complete aggression for Vitality. And if only he got that opening kill, this round would have fallen apart at the seams.
Oh, Jerry, though, you are very blind, my friend. Backed into a corner now. Just going to try stay alive. He's helped out by Shalfie, and now he's keen to go back into the fight. He's never out of it, is this guy. Suter, even though he's good for the trade, it's still a 3-on-4 where he really is wounded. Magisk is trapped in at Tetris as well, and Fours have got this info. Novi's taken up position inside of the site, tucking himself into where his IGL took a bullet. And Vitality are just going to write this one off. They're going to fall away from the A-side aggression. Probably the right call to make after how this one has gone early on, right? Apex and Dupree get lit up. And they're just going to go silent, even for a bit. Might all end in a recommit back into this A play, right? But it just cuts off this flow of information that Fours had. If you followed through, you were going into a 3-man stack site, you're hoping that this big period of silence is going to put a seed of doubt in the minds of Faze, and they might over-rotate away. Not the case. They're still 3 strong here, and Norvi, even peeking ramp, has now dropped the bomb. That's the round, probably. And now definitely, Masuta dead, swinging through Palace. They get cut down by Zorti's AWP. And so Faze right on the board. The rifles come out, the AWP's in play. It's all there, and they get there first.
Yeah, like that. They just tuck in. ZywOo did a really good job of selling that cat fake, right? He put the not the hinge smoke, like the corner smoke on catwalk up, molly window, flash con. Looked like he was going up short side, and Faze had no info, but the problem is the bomb got dropped on ramp right before ZywOo made contact, so Faze knew exactly where that one was going. Or back in spawn again, and ooh, they're coming in big. Magisk might just swing him out of power, split the open, gets a shot, and gets out. Even pre-nades Magisk, who won't go out, he won't rush it just yet, waiting for the smokes to land. Boost over, if you try and cross into triple or plant open, you're in a problem position. Dupree will die. Apex has to plant default from the back of the boost. He knows they're close. Through the smoke, in they go. Jerry running amok. Good trade, but I don't know if there's the manpower here for Vitality. ZywOo has to do some quick click, and he's already missed the first one. Follow-up won't connect, and ZywOo's already looking to save. He wants to give the AWP another go, and with a default plant, there's simply nothing to do for ZywOo.
Yeah, the idea that, you know, you're going to be able to replicate some of these very confident, very kind of fast rounds that you had back on Dust, where everything was clicking. I don't think it's going to be as easy here on Faze. I would argue that this is a really good third map for the Faze squad to find themselves on, in spite of Vitality's recent successes here. It's always been a map that Faze like. Yeah. So they're more than comfortable. They're going to have a lot of ideas, and I think there's a lot more that Jerry can look to do in terms of, you know, calling some smooth rotations, getting in the head of a guy like Apex a little bit more.
I will be interested to see how it pans out, because I feel like when I think Forza Mirage, I think back to 2 players who are no longer in this team, how incredible Flick can be on that con side, and Z-Power's CT AWP, and just how explosive that's been in so many online matches gone by. Obviously, neither of those players still in this team, and, you know, for Flick, brought out, for Z-Power, you could argue upgraded onto Zorti, who can definitely do it on both halves, who doesn't go stone cold on the T side like Z-Power often did. So, you know, have the other additions, have the latest players got the depth that these old guys did? Vitality, right now 2 of them fairly inexperienced in comparison to the rest. Running out of ramp, they've got the util down. Shalfie's behind triple, waiting for the right time to strike.
He'd love to get set up with a flash, but instead peeks it dry. Good for the double, but 4 ZywOo trades. They're cut down. Shalfie and Jerry, man. Valiant A-hold out of the 2 of them here. And Zorti's even willing to go blow for blow with ZywOo. Wins that fight through the lip of the smoke. Peeking top ticket was never even needed. Kenzie gonna lock in that final one. And so immediately we arrive at a tie game now. The money broken for Vitality. Faze are looking to leapfrog into an early lead here.
In Dust 2, it felt like Faze weren't ready for the chaos that Vitality brought, right? With some of the crazy triple setups on bomb sites, some of the aggression from Dupree in upper tunnels, the Masuta out long doors, but they're already looking more primed for chaotic rounds in this game, right? Like the hide behind triple for Shalfie. As soon as he gets 2, Jerry's insta swings. There's no, you know, respect. There's no hesitation. There's no patience for Faze. They're happy to all fight in the open. Oh my god! Thank God, Zorti got that off before his teammate walked into his crosshair. That one's an elbow. Apex about to have thin limbs if these shots connect. Oh! How about a face reduction? Zorti gets deegged. Shalfie tries to escape, but try being the operative word, as Magisk doesn't let him succeed. Norway needs to stop running because Magisk is coming. Oh, almost another deeg. But Faze will take that anti-eco 4-3, keeping AKs as well. They can afford the AWP. Vitality coming in with yet another buy, including the big green. But right now, Faze are certainly looking primed.
Yeah, 100%, man. It's good that Zorti got to have this AWP from the get-go and still has it in play as well. I think getting him properly activated, having someone to keep ZywOo on the back foot is going to be a pretty big deal. Struggled to get much done in these early rounds. Jerry even pushing lower. He does like to do this. That's something you're going to have to keep an eye on, right? He's a bit wild when it comes to this mid area. Jerry's not afraid to take risks here. Play with guts and go for these lower tunnel pushes. He's out there as quick as he arrived. So middle now has a bit of a void in it that Vitality might look to fill. The bomb still back in T-spawn, still pretty undecided as to where this is ending up. This smoke for Apex is less than ideal, and dying after the fact is just salt in the wound. He's going to be feeling a little rough after that one.
Oh dear, it could get worse. dupreeh, he gets spammed through the con smoke. They saw him on the minimap at least. ZywOo does kill Jerry out through Palace, but his teammate at ramp dies, and both these Vitality players have to regroup and pick the bomb back up. It's a reset to middle. But it's not like Faze have given this position up this round. Kenzie's still fighting for it. Shalfie's over the top of the fence. Or up in ladder, rather. And ZywOo waiting on that smoke just in case. But Shalfie ready to swing on Kenzie's contact. However, he's backed up to check the window cross. And so there's a bit of a window. There's a bit of a timing for Vitality to get up Cat. Oh, back turn, though. Kenzie takes that contact, and now Shalfie can activate. Smoke in the way right now, but Masuta's walking into an AWP. He saw it. But Zort is quick, and Faze find 5 in a row off the back of Vitality converting their pistol.
I mean, already any Vitality fans out there could be getting a little nervous. You know, this isn't the most inspiring start once the guns have come out. Of these attempts at getting openers, right? You've been pretty brazen with it if you're Vitality. Guys like dupreeh not afraid to just run at Faze. But it's not really netted the results you've been hoping for. The openers have been few and far between. This round, it's fast through con. It's a clean tap for Jerry. It's even more down here in middle. Good deagle for dupreeh. This is the window jump. Probably doesn't want to go back to it now that the sound cue's there. However, what options do you have left? Smoke in the top of con, but a tag before all is said and done. dupreeh tries to get back in the window.
Oh, watch out. Shalfie really wants to go back for more with his second AWP. ZywOo's crossed on B, but he still has to drop and make noise. Norway, no idea. Oh my god, freebie for ZywOo. He nails that. You wouldn't. Catches Norway on the bench, and now he's got a gun to play with. There may be low health for Vitality, but headshots negate all of that. Shalfie scoped up. ZywOo might have heard it, but it doesn't matter. A headshot favor is returned. The missed shot from Shalfie, and dupreeh grabs the gun that ZywOo once owned. Apex trying to stick a default, but they're all coming through.
dupreeh all on you now, and he's dead after one. Jerry there to close. Oh, the kills coming from just 2 players in this one. It's Shalfie and Jerry lighting them up. Able to deliver that round up against the pistols. It certainly got close for a moment, right? There was a chance there for Vitality thanks to ZywOo opening up that B site. But the response was good. It was pretty clean. The trade work was there. They just ran into the site. The moment they heard that bomb going down, they knew they had a 3-on-1 versus dupreeh at bench. He either needed some incredible sequence or that one was just always going to be a Faze round. I think it's already kind of clear, you know, like the missteps are feeling like they're few and far between right now for Faze. On Dust, there were a lot of glaring problems early on. But this one, they're looking in control of it. And we have a very early tack pause out of Vitality.
Yeah, got to get on this quick, right? And, you know, the other side to Vitality, yes, recent results have been good. Last couple of games have come through. But in terms of depth, right, even for having a coach like Zonic, it's like, you know, Astralis never played this map. We all know that. It's the narrative we run with for the core of this team, for at least 3 out of 6 parts. And you wonder about the depth, whereas you know Jerry's been playing this map for as long as he's been in Faze, over 5 years. So there's no question on depth in this roster. This is Jerry trying to hide his barrel, I guess, hide his skin. He knows his lineups, doesn't want his backpack to show. And a beautiful flashbang comes from Zorti, and he just eviscerates Apex. That's super sick. That's something you've done in a private server to make sure your model doesn't stick out.
I get the feeling, because some players looking at the wall there, but I think your kind of like shoulders stick out, if that makes sense. Whereas when you're looking up, your model's manipulated, and so he's thin enough to actually fit in there with like no risk.
What a nerd.
Yeah, and it's all time with that flash peek as well.
Ooh,
These are the little ideas, the little gimmicks that can steal you around. You find yourself questioning, do Vitality have?
Yeah, what can they fall back on when these T-side rounds aren't working, when they aren't coming together? Because they haven't won a gun round yet. And so we still have that question mark. A 5-on-4. Fours seem ready. That's a good spam, but it's going to force a play out of Magisk. He goes through the smoke. Ramp player just has to gamble. The ramp is clear. Back turn on the Tetris. Kenzie mollied out. It's all on Shalfie.
Oh, even tagged in the molly. Now they know that someone's taking a peek over here in jungle. There's a double-pronged approach to trying to hold on to this one. Everyone coming out of the con side. Kenzie swings. They do manage to get over the stairs. Now it's more like a ramp take, trying to get past this orb in the jungle. Easier said than done. Goes back in for more.
They know.
That's where Masuta finds him. They know that Kenzie was here as well. Plant now coming in. It's default for CT. Kenzie, 1v2 on his plate. Masuta and Magis, the two to try and beat. It's a big ask. They know where he is, up on the stairs, and they go swinging. They go hunting. Masuta might have been low, but still locks that round in. A big one for him, right? A multi-kill out of Masuta, and it goes a long way.
Yeah, that's a 4-on-5 as well, off the back of this play and low. A really, really nice play. No time to dodge that flash. Shalfie gets overwhelmed at ramp, but it's the molly tick that Fours never capitalize on. They throw a flash at 4 blinds Dupree. He fires his entire mag before Kenzie even swings. Obviously, he doesn't want to run into bullets there, but yeah, there were a couple players blinded on the con side. Instead, they just cross in, and Kenzie only gets one of them. Couple of opportunities blundered for Fours. Fast up cap for Vitality on a AAA deep lean. So this is nice. They're going to completely avoid the setup. It's only Norvi at B. Was the quieter player on the B anchor of Dust 2. Going to do it alone again. Jerry gets picked pushing Palace. Norvi's been warped out of the round. Shalfie's here in time, but he can't swing wide because Zywoo had him from short. So had to take onto Masuta. Does fall, and Zywoo closes. That's far better for Vitality. A lot of ways that can go wrong, but they win fights on both sides, and Zywoo is there to shut it down. Finally up to 5 now, and breaking the money of Fours while they get there.
If you're a fan of scanning QR codes, I bet you've already done it. But if you're not, you can scan that, and that's how you buy tickets to the major.
Yeah.
That's right. You can have an easier path there than either one of these squads. They're having a battle for the privilege.
Pay to win, IMO.
It's all up on Shalfie, man. It's the only thing in this round. Putting a lot of faith in him to get something done with it.
Quite an investment, but Shalfie's just been rootin', tootin', shooting all series long, especially with the second orb.
Dude, A was left clear entirely early on. They lent really heavy into this B stack to like play around this AWP. Vitality are now starting to discover it. Starting to uncover the truth that this A bomb site's looking pretty empty. And so any hope of this AWP being the thing that plays into the round and actually carries this impact to find it for Fours, kind of out the window. Vitality have cleared all this space. They know that A is empty. They know they're walking into a free bomb plant, and now the alarm bells start to go off with Apex deep up CT. Fours know this is a done deal. Weren't really planning to win it unless it ended up in a B play. With that not happening, with Apex going on that big clear of the A bomb site, he's safeguarded a 6th round for his squad.
Yeah, I mean, they never really had A. They left it very early, so it's a shame. But at the same time, it's not a surprise. Vitality see the AWP on Cat, they just walk into A. They just find the gap. They want to completely avoid it. They know this isn't a full buy for Fours, and that this is likely one of, if not the only gun they have. So it would have been nice to either see the stack on the other side, or Shalfie to just try and reposition. Go back to CT, hold for an aggressive player. But at the same time, the double save, no problem. Gets the AWP, or not even double save, just the single save. Gets away with it, brings it into what is now a gun round, and can even give it over to Zorti, or they just double AWP. because it is CT Mirage after all. That is the play. 6-6, very balanced. This is nice because Dust 2 was not close. It was not competitive until it felt like it was too late. And Nuke, well, that was a banger, and that was back and forth all the way along. No favorite here just yet, but that will certainly help.
Okay.
Bopped.
Yeah, dupreeh, a spam and a prey. All it takes to keep Faze at bay. Apex even opens up out through the ramp side, palace side rather. Zorti just misses that timing. We'll go back the second time around, makes it look easy, like he planned to do that all along, but they're way deeper than Faze are ready for. Norvy's caught throwing smokes. dupreeh saw the barrel there. He knows that something weird's going down in the window, and he hears Zorti running away. Now both these AWPs are trying to save inside of the B site. dupreeh, he wants to do something about that. You can't save, not with the Danish taxman up in the apartments.
Or will they dodge or will they evade? That's the question. One is okay. One is not going to let dupreeh be happy. Zorti with a shot, takes down Magis. They've seen them in apartments. Usually getting thrown in. It's worthwhile losing guns for this kill, knowing how AWPs can be so influential. Shalfie running through the smoke, and that's perfect for Apex. That's all he ever wanted. Almost found the second, but a kill is a kill, man. They sacrificed 3 players, and it was worth every penny. So now Vitality take the lead back, and all we have is once again a single AWP into a half buy with pistols, SMGs, whatever Faze can put in. It's not going to be a lot.
Vitality going for an alien just right out of the gate. A call from spawn. Now, Zorti has pushed all the way through lower tunnels with the AWP, and the rest of the gang are up on short. At this point, they know it's not the B play. They've got that much affirmed thanks to the lower tunnels control. It's an all-in A-side execute. Jerry, a one and done would be great here, but they're not making it easy for him. He's burning in the mollies, having to tuck himself in. It's utter chaos as Faze have lobbed smokes of their own. Now flashing through them. Finding kills on either side. It's a 4-on-4. Damage done to both teams, but right now Vitality still the ones in control. They can decide to back out if they want. They didn't like what they saw there. This is going to leave them a little limited in terms of throwing an exec, right? You've got one smoke on Masuta. That is the extent of it. But if you're quick here, if you're speedy, the timing is going to be good enough for them to get into this B bomb site.
Yeah, Faze didn't want to outread themselves, but in doing so, they've remained still statues on this A site, and Vitality are so confident. They are knife out jumping into B initially, knowing they've got a good timing to take this site. Maybe there's a player in there, but it's pretty clear that it's clear. So 8 rounds to Vitality as Faze are going to be forced to save an AWP and maybe this AK on Apex's body. Well worth the back out there for Vitality. Like you said, they saw enough pistols, enough smokes to come through that it had to be a stack of Faze. And on Eco, very common as well.
Yeah, you know, and I think like even when Apex like swings out of the palace here, like what is he greeted with? It's not the lovely smoke wall that's gone in and everything's fine. It's a collection of smokes that you didn't throw that cover a path into the bomb site. It's flashes raining through. He like, it's like that gif of the dude just walking into like everything on fire, you know, like with pizza boxes. I don't know where that's from. I don't really watch anything.
Yeah, I know.
But you know, he just walks in. He's like, well, this is cooked, and then he tells everyone to go ahead and leave. He gets like the kind of like eye test of, nope, this looks horrible, and everyone else just reroutes out of the danger.
He's been doing a great job of finding gaps on this T-Store. Right? Even think about that last eco where Faze stacked B. They saw the AWP because dupreeh got picked on off Cat, and then Apex walks up Con and completely empties the A site. They've been using him as like a roamer, right? A guy trying to figure out where the enemy stack is, where the gaps are. Lower play denied. Zorti will still hit Basuta though, also from lower. That was up the stairwell, so now he's sort of trapped out, and they can box him in if they want. I'd love to see them try, but it is an AWP. They'd rather just avoid it. Take that bomb back to the A side. How does that volley miss? That's so unfortunate for ZywOo, and it blocks him in. He has to peek, and Kenzie finds him. That's super unlucky for ZywOo. Not a mistake you see often, but just has carved a path into A, and he knows Jerry's spawn.
Oh, that's clean. That's a lovely opener. There's a second man in comp. Magic sees him.
Oh, what?
They can't win that fight. Zorti's pulled it back into a 2-on-2. Smoking Con, Zorti's got to go through it. If he waits for that, the round is gone. Shalfie deep in CT and a must-win engagement going his way. Leaves it all on Dupree. 50 seconds. He's still got time on his side. Going to start to creep on forward. Looking for this AWP. A missed shot out of Zorti. And now Dupree's got him boxed in. Trapped in a corner. And he will flush that AWP out of the round. Now Shalfie all the way back in CT, but Dupree's getting tricky with it. Up onto the short side. Now spots him. The spray connects and Dupree wins it. The 1v2 goes the way of this guy. Apex is on his feet, making sure he gets that fist bump. As Dupree carries them through to another round.
Oh, you love it when they're this energetic, man. This is not the Apex we had to start the day, not the Apex from Nuke, and not the vitality from map 1 of this series either. The fact that Dupree even takes that fight instead of just running catwalk when he knows he has the timing, he knows he has the gap. He reads the swing and he wins it despite a bit of a whiffed spray at the start. It's perfect. It's another round. It's a 9-6 T side. It's all you can ask for. Vitality just trying to run over fours and go 3-0. It feels within reach, more so than ever before in this series. We need a banging pistol out of Jerry and the boys. Molly, he can throw this into window or con. Window one's a little more finicky. Here it is. Let's see if he lands it. He has a lineup. There it goes. But Magis is not waiting. Classic ex-Astralis fashion. Up top mid with Dupree, but both dead and only 2 for 1.
Yeah, it started off great. It looked like it was going to be so good. But Fours, they swarm these mid players. Masuta, bloody hell.
Crikey.
They saw him. Zorti's like, nope. You think you're being sneaky right now, but you're not being sneaky, Masuta. They know exactly what you're doing. And they're saying, mate, you can go and clear B. In fact, we encourage you to do that. Go all the way for all we care. We're right behind you.
This is
insane. B's clear, is it? Oh, you're telling everyone that B's clear. That's cute. Well, here they are walking through lower.
Incredible.
Looking to wrap him. Do they just commit back into the B play? God. I really think they do, yeah. They're saying, mate, we... Masuta. Oh, it's funny. They're creeping in through the apartments into a site that is clear, that is awaiting them. The plant is free, then they've just got to follow through on the round. Zywoo's going to hear all this commotion.
They saw him.
Peeking out. They know he's on the short side. That's something to go off of now, but it gets super weird because Shalfie's still up in Palace. This one's been spotted. Masuta has seen him, but he's just keeping him here, away from the objective, away from winning the round. Masuta cannot wait for this fight forever. And with so much time already ticked off the clock, this should be Fours winning the pistol in this second half.
I just love the routing, right? They don't try and box him in by sending like Norway back top mid and go T-apps and trap him. They just go, no, he's going to get misinformation. He thinks he's cleared out B. We'll just follow him. If we don't find him in B apartments, then the site is clear and it's a free plant. And like you said, Shalfie just wasting time. Just living is enough in that position. Sometimes not dying is more important than killing. You just know that Vitality have eyes in the back of their head and they're wasting their vision on a dead round. 7 for 4s now. And that can close this gap very quick. Although Vitality have really gone for it. Double FAMAS, a Scout, and an MP9. You rarely see double FAMAS round 2. That's like an outsider's buy if you know, James saves after they drop it. But 2? Pretty good.
Oh my God!
Oh, no! No way.
That's not how that's meant to go down. Apex. He wasn't even fully scoped in. That was just hitting the shoot button fast as he can. Masuta gonna drop the bomb. Shalfie runs in with it first. Jerry might be up the short side, but it's into this stack, into the pharmacies, and the French guns put up a French round. Vitality in with 10.
Wow. Oh my God, I have nothing for you there. B stack, perfect read, smoke headshot. How did he hit it? He wasn't even scoped. It barely looked like it. And of course, Zywoo multi-kills on bench with a FAMAS. the only #2 in the world can make that gun look good. Sheesh. And you know how I said how this gap was probably going to close?
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like that, does it? They're back in with this top mid aggression on the side of Vitality. And even though Magis will take one to the dome, if you think that running him down in middle is a viable prospect, I've got news for you. There is a triple stack right now for Vitality. Crossfires upon crossfires over here in mid. ZywOo can make contact first, and then he's got immediate support from Dupree. There's only one out of it. And Magis doesn't want to go swinging back in. Not with everyone already dead. It's too late. He can't play the trade game there. He will at least get the info. They haven't followed through on the mid play. They haven't kept up this aggression. But it does get a little bit weird now. That was exactly what Vitality wanted. They wanted the mid fights. But the individuals step up for fours. And now they lean back here towards B.
Yeah, Masuza's just been so solid this series, though. I don't know if they're going to be able to trade this kill. He might just have all three. The first two are going to be dripped in together. The last one's going to be a little late. They try and cross. They don't clear him. Masuta anymore. He's just buying seconds, valuable time for his team. That's a beautiful dig. They will still continue to put on kills, put on a show for fours in this round, but Magis can't go. Apex is on the big flank. Right now, there's no kit. There's one dropped on Masuta's body at the bench. But Magisk knows they're at least trapped deep in the bomb site, close to the smoke. Apps was being held, but for how long? Apex's timing is of paramount importance. There's the peak. Apex jumps out. Magisk catches Kenzie close kitchen, and he's gone through the smoke. He swapped sides of the site. It's default. And like I said, they need to grab this kit. Oh, they've spotted him crossing back, but he still drops Magisk. Apex grabs it, taps it, fakes it. No, we won't fall for it. And that is the round for fours. A force right back. How do you like your own medicine, Vitality?
Oh, you could see the disappointment, man. The disappointment setting in on Apex's face for that one. Stolen out right from under their noses. I think it's also important that Novi's the guy, to step up and try to fill the void.
Yeah, very quiet.
Because, thinking about Dust 2, everyone else had this recovery story. Everyone else kind of built back into that second map, and he was very much the exception. But come the third, everyone can forget about your pitfalls, your downfalls in map 2 if you go on to turn it around and win the series. And that's what he's hoping to do now. Pack pause for fours. I like it. They do this a lot as well. They'll win a round, but they take a moment to calm down. I almost wonder if that's like Jerry understanding the kind of inexperience with a few players in this roster, knowing that after a clutch like that, after a moment like that, your heart is going to be racing. Your adrenaline is pumping. Nothing is, your thoughts aren't flowing clearly. And so he just gives them that moment afterwards to chill out, return to normality.
It goes both ways. There's definitely a human element, right? In you just trying to catch your breath in these moments. Like anyone who's ever been in a clutch CS knows what that feels like. When you're done, win or lose, your heart is racing. But also your opponents have to sit and stew in that round, knowing they just lost to full deagles with almost nothing else. And that doesn't feel good either for a team like Vitality. But hey, they won it. Fours won it. Anyone can win it. And this buy is no exception. No one's looking at ladder. They don't flash peek it. Jerry does check above. Dupree gets one, almost doubles. Zorti almost doesn't clear above the ladder. Was looking very deep, but a 4-on-4. Shalfie on ramp. Just waiting patiently. And the crouch saves his life. If he was stood up, rather, Magisk probably headshots him. There's a time and a place for the control key. The key is control. Back towards A. Kenzie's deep in trouble already, and Apex somehow finds him. ZywOo's even picked one out of CT spawn as well, making a lot of noise, and someone's coming to join Zorti.
This is super awkward. Oh, that's so important. That's opened up a route back into the round, and Zorti's now wrapped Apex in the window. Beautiful interplay between these two over in mid. Right as the trade was attempted, that's when Zorti strikes. So now it is just ZywOo with this scout. He might have got one with it so far, but he needs so much more. Zorti is offering up a pick here, but that gun drop, that's heard. Now they know. And ZywOo looking like he wants to make a swift exit from this 1v2 attempt.
Did Chad lend Fours his AK? Look at that. Full Vox on the gold arabesque. That's a pretty skin, Harry. But yeah, other than that, Fours keep it going. they don't get forced back on by an AK and a couple of rifles around it. That was a pretty decent buy for Vitality, all things considered, with the save. So you know how I said this game was going to close up? Yeah, I did mean it after all.
Yeah, right. You looked into the crystal ball. You couldn't quite make out, your tarot cards. You couldn't quite get the reading on it originally. But now it's all making sense. Now it's all coming clear. Yeah, you got this hero AK, but that's about the extent of it. It's another tack pause for Faze. They want to keep this little streak going as long as they can. And with only really one thing to worry about in this round coming up, you're hoping this is where they can tie this game up.
That one thing? ZywOo, as always. But yeah, a little more dangerous with that saved rifle. And not a lot behind it you would expect for Vitality. They've got enough of a lead that they can just concede a round and still be fine and dandy. They're also on the favoured side right now. But Faze definitely look comfortable on Mirage. There's no doubt. We already talked about the sheer number of maps and years that these players, and especially Jerry, have led on this map, and the experience, and something that, you know, Vitality's recent results have been good, but they are lacking the depth, at least on a couple of these players. So you got to hope they hold strong. Oh dear, not pretty.
He had to fall into the molly.
Yeah.
Now the AK's super low. Howard, the only armored player, but still he'll take this 5-on-4 early. Moving in, P250 of Apex going to get one. You're not meant to win this.
Hello?
They're doing a hell of a lot. Apex is P250, tears through 2. Oh, hang on a moment. USP even landing a dink out of Magis. This is a borderline full eco. The AK hasn't even played into the round yet. Dupree's been entrusted with it. Kenzie's creeping up in the site, but a double swing available in CT. Even though you get the first, got to be ready for the second. Masuta brought down low.
Okay.
Dead after a bit of damage. It's Dupree's wrap round that's being entrusted right now. ZywOo's down here in com, but he's nothing more than a noisemaker, trying to draw the attention away from Dupree. That solid gold AK needs to offer up some solid gold kills in through the palace. The king of Dupree. Next in line to the Danish throne as he emerges round the corner looking for this kill at CT. He's cut down. The gold's removed. It's Faze running off to the caves with it. 10-10.
2-on-5 for Kenzie and Norway to get that round back under wraps. That was USPs, P250s. The AK, as you said, never even played in. I don't know how Vitality even made that almost a round, but it won't happen. Faze still keep it under thumb. And that matters so much, right? Like a 10-10 getting eco'd, that's going to set Vitality off. They have a huge bank if they win it. They get an AWP into their next gun round. But denied for now means Faze only have to fight these rifles. And where are they? Of course they're in middle. Magiska's been pushing it all damn day. He's been flashed though. Oh, they cross. Good shots for Magisk. 2 and the third. That's clean. Dupree's there to help out. And these two own middle right now. Norway can get his B pick, but he cannot get the round.
Oh. Okay. Apex walks into his demise. Kind of funny, because that was how Apex was getting away with a lot of these kills over on Dust, would just be, you know, waiting in these off angles for someone to creep in. Norvey deals one back his way, but to go on and win the clutch, to go on and win the 1v3, that should never happen. They've got the bomb in middle. They're all ready to respond to it. Everyone's in a spot where they can trade this, even if they lose this first man.
Yeah, it's super safe. It's so safe that because Norway has to clear all these angles, even if he gets the bomb, there's just no time to make a play happen. They can just play for the denial. ZywOo peeks, and there's the info. Dupree can help out. Oh, Norway makes noise. The ladder! And Dupree, luckily enough, converts that round for Vitality. There was a way for just for damage alone to get weird. But it's denied, and the two Danes find 5 kills in that round for Vitality. Vitality 3 from Magisk, 2 from Dupree. So back on the board and back on the buy. Faze not quite as well endowed in the bank account.
Yeah, I think it's quite reassuring as well for Vitality that they're able to make that double mid setup that they've ran a lot with Dupree and Magisk work so flawlessly, right? Because it's been a bit, you know, we'll call it a mixed bag of results thus far.
That's
over in
the first time
middle.
it's worked.
Quite often they've got the opener, but the trades have just turned against them horrifically, and it's ended up feeling like, you know, a bit of a problem at times. That time it all comes together. You see how it was meant to look, and that's how they find the lead. Now there is an aggressive purchase back in from Faze, right? They had, you know, guys like Jerry kind of around the pretty low money. I think he had 1,600 coming into this, so, you know, throwing the investment in, getting an AK for Kenzie, Deagles on the others, Tech 9s here and there, bit of utility to accompany you into the round. Still going to be hard-pressed to make this one work, and it might be a B-lean early on.
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of a must-do buy for Faze because their money was so bad they wanted to level it out, but it really puts Vitality in such a good position if they convert against an eco. Faze have won Deagles before, but it's, you know, certainly shouldn't happen again. And what's most shocking about this to me is Vitality haven't even been like hard carried by ZywOo. It's not been the Mizuta show, just winning retakes or anything. Like, firstly, Apex is continuing his dust performance, but also the Danes are the ones winning a lot of rounds for Vitality right now. dupreeh with a clutch at the end of the half. You know, the mid setup, like you said, finally working for these two. These are the guys that have been the stars of the show. ZywOo's barely had his CT AWP, right? And that's still to come. All these things are good for Vitality, but I think it's important to just see like how well they're doing despite it's, you know, it not being the ZywOo show. It's not being the AWP and CT Spawn just carry and kill 4 around, which so often has been the ZywOo show on this map.
Well, this is a chance for ZywOo to put on a show, right? He's under Palace, and he's about to have just a flood of Faze players come his way. Gonna vanquish the flood here, the Master Chief of Vitality under the Palace, but will get dealt with, doesn't accomplish anything. It's Magis doing it all. 4 from the spawn, on for the ace, can't quite get it, and it's given Zorti a chance at the 1v2. Now there's a nade on dupreeh, that could just seal his fate, but it goes on triple, not for default. Out from behind the box, always seen one, looking at the stairs, swinging out as the molly rains in over the top.
Missed as well. The worst part is he thinks it's landing, so that's why he swings. If it does land, he dies, but it doesn't. He could have lived a few more seconds on that box and picked players off, but yeah, 2 missed nades, and it actually does Vitality favors in that round. 12-10, and yeah, poor ZywOo just turning from flashes. They fall on him. Magis steals 2 kills away. ZywOo gets cleared, and Magis goes on to kill 4 from spawn. This is what I mean. It's just been the Danes, a Dane off right now. Turning Faze into pastries.
Well, they might be pastries, but they got no dough. Hugo, mate, they're all out of money in this one. So it is that eco that you prophesized. This is really where Vitality are looking to build into the lead and run away with the game. Kenzie gets a freebie. dupreeh, little complacent on the mid aggro, doesn't clear the angle fully. Insight's now going to get tested, running down Masuta and Apex, but they've got each other's backs. Masuta's able to drop the last man out of the apartments, and Kenzie will be arriving here, but it's a little too far gone, and there's Masuta to close it.
No longer the Danish pastries, it's the croissants served in the continental breakfast here for Vitality. Nice B-hold as well. Both sites on lock at the moment, and when you add in on gun rounds, they're playing double, triple middle to start. Vitality are not leaving a stone unturned. They are keeping Faze out of this game, and they are trying to go 3-0 straight to the Legends stage, join some of the best teams in the world right now. And Vitality absolutely in that list as well. Waiting next stage, Heroic, Big, Faze, Na'Vi, Cloud9, Copenhagen, Flames, Nip, Furia, and maybe Vitality.
Yeah, you see them feeling a lot more confident right now, you know, running that double lower push on dupreeh and Magis, just sending around your little Danish death squad. Sees the man jumping back in CT. He's spotted ZywOo, not able to find that opener, and instead nades rain in, doing damage. This A play starting to take fruition for Faze. They've smoked off Con, they're moving over the stairs, but are they ready for ZywOo? Was quiet in the last A-take. This time he's roaring to life with a third. Out from behind triple, he lives up to the name and puts 14 on the board for the Vitality squad. Apex is getting hyped, he's getting loud. Vitality can feel this one. They can feel that legend spot. And they want it more than ever.
Yeah, 4 in a row now for Vitality, and they're just feeling fantastic, right? No longer the woes of these eco wins, these lost clutches. It's all coming together, it's all happening, and Faze have had to use their final tactical timeout, their final chance to run through 3-0. And no matter what happens here, Faze deserve a lot of credit for even making it this far. Yes, their draws may have been easier than some of the others, thanks to their seed. But they took Vitality to the limit, man. They pulled a nice attempt at a comeback on Dust. They had an incredible nuke that is definitely something other teams need to avoid. But they may have run out of steam here on Mirage, going very cold right near the end. Playing for overtime right now are Faze. Vitality gifted a 15th round off the back of Nico.
Yeah, it's going to take like a huge individual effort to build back into this one. And you just question it, do Faze have the tenure? Do they have the experience there? Going to take a miracle to build back into this. That's
nice.
certainly not a bad start out of Norvi.
Man
down early. Apex removed, and he's been one of the big-time players for Vitality throughout this series. Norvi's not content with just the one. He wants to make it even sweeter. ZywOo in the window. Doesn't want to overextend, doesn't want to get caught fighting that. Shalfie just heard the drop. Oh, out with the swing. He's tagged, and that's going to spook him away from the Palace position. Smoke in at top con. Now, it looked like they were building into the A play. They want to try and, push around this smoke, take stairs, and flood the A site from different angles of elevation. There's only 2 players here right now for Vitality. ZywOo's one of them with the AWP, but he's missed a shot. Jerry goes sprinting in. Takes all that space on the back of the AWP bullet, just whizzing over the top of him. And Shalfie's Deagle's found another. 15's not guaranteed for Vitality. It's not locked in, and it's stripped away. Faze up onto 11 with the force buy.
they're coming through. ZywOo ain't saving today, buddy. 1v5, they're right behind you. They're going B apartments. There is no red carpet. There is no escape pod. ZywOo's got to fight for survival in a wave-based attack game. Apps first, and Norway closes. He has been the quietest guy across this entire series, and he's come alive on Mirage, man. Top of his team, winning clutches, winning decos, most importantly. Both the rounds that he's won pretty much single-handedly have been off the back of his Deagle. Look at this shot to start. Apex dropping under, Jerry the acrobat, and Norvi carries on with that picked-up gun to close out 2 and deny the AWP save. You're right, this isn't done. Vitality, they got to work for every round. Suddenly their money's drawn into question.
Dude, this is kind of an awkward spot. Like, if Faze were going to launch a comeback, they've got all the prerequisites, right? They've got Vitality on the edge of their seat. They've got them believing, oh, if we can just get that 1 or 2 rounds we need to get this one over the line. And that hunger comes at a cost.
Warp located, thank you to that 1 flashbang for Sortie. It's not much of a surprise that it's back on ticket, but at least it's confirmed. That's going to help Faze lean into this B execute when those smoke comes in from the spawn. Shalfie again lurking Palace, needs to try and find impact earlier in the round. Can't afford to be a backstab in this one. If his team do fall, he'll be left looking alone, looking lost. But they actually want to split A. They're not going for the B attack. Shalfie's picked Apex out of sandwich again. Apex dead first for Vitality, and Faze are poised for this A attack.
Yeah, dude, I mean, this is going to be really sour. Like, he's given us such an incredible series, but
Nice.
First man dead both times around. This time, Vitality. I'm hoping they can pick that up. They can do right by Apex and finish what he looked to start. Jerry.
They go B.
Going to deal with Dupree. Now they're rerouting. They've completely changed the game plan on the fly. Based on Shalfie's death, they're leaning into this B site. Masuta, it's all on this guy. Drops the bomb. AWP only tags him. It's a swing, but it's a miss. Nailed the second time around. Norvi bests him in the head-to-head. ZywOo's here and knocked off the angle by that AWP. Magisk 1 versus 3, and so far removed that saving might be the best and only option available to him here. He's still moving into the ladder room, but it might just be to grab this kit. Kit now retrieved. He looks like he's interested.
He's trying to find the gun, but it got taken. Robbed. Oh, has he got something? Orb, yeah, nice. Gets away with something, but yeah, Norvi's just had a serious late activation in this series, and he continues to just brute force his way in. Masuta at 20 seconds, he drops the bomb, he can win that round right there. Norvi gets dinked, still converts. And also, I love how Faze don't rush. With 15 on the clock, they focus on killing the rotates. If they were knife out crossing to the site with a bomb, ZywOo probably wins the entire round there, but Zorti posts up, waits for the kill to come, and then takes the package in. Good priorities in place for Faze. They fight on. And my God, you can feel this game getting tense right now. For Faze, who shouldn't even be here, now are tasked with a mini comeback right at the end of this best of 3 to try and knock down Vitality. But a hero orb. Ooh, you never know.
They can do things. ZywOo's leaning B with it. Faze have taken this mid control in their stride, knowing that there isn't too much to go up against in this round. They've grabbed all this control. Now, normally, ZywOo's been spotted over towards CT, right? That has been a pretty reoccurring theme, that he's been this A-leaning player, whether he has rifles, the AWP. Normally, they found him somewhere inside of that A-bomb site. The fact he's at B could come as a bit of a surprise, but right now, Faze still working. Oh, Apex! He might have been the first man to fall in the last couple of rounds, but there, he delivers with the deagle. Oh my goodness. Wow. That flick, those shots, that might have set Vitality up. It spurred on the rest of the gang. And all the Deagles are finding something now into the B play, into the belly of the beast. ZywOo here with the AWP, waiting, raring to go, spurred on by the success of the other Frenchman. He's keen to join them, dropping the bomb and finishing it with a second. 15 for Vitality. And Apex can't believe it, that's how the round starts.
It's just shocking. As the smoke is bouncing, it's about to bloom, it's about to block Apex out of the round, and he does this. The adjustment was instantaneous. Couldn't have fired faster. And of course, it's the AWP to close. No better position for Vitality to be in. Eco wins have been frequent in this third map. Almost not apparent, almost non-existent in the last 2, but Mirage are where the Deagles do it best.
That is ludicrous, man. That is crazy. Like, even in slow motion, it still looks fast.
I couldn't have hit that in slow motion.
Just miraculous. And the fact that, you know, he had been the problem in the 2 rounds prior to that, getting caught pushing lower versus the Deagles, falling early on in the follow-up round. But then, when it really matters, Apex, a diamond, crafted under the pressure of a game that felt like it was slipping away. Yeah. Well, now Vitality are the ones stood on the finish line. They've just got to cross it. Faze, they've put so much into this series. They've laid it all out there to try and secure Legends 3-0. No. Do they have anything left in the tank? Was it all in vain?
And not the angle he was expecting. Through the legs. Magisk finds that first kill. Finally, Vitality not a man down yet again, and they will ride this one out. 4 more frags, 4 more moments. Apex, oh, he hasn't been seen. That con smoke is so nice to the CTs on top of it. And always blind. A re-smoke comes through, Apex gets out. No rush, no hurry. 5-on-4, let the kills come to you. They certainly could, but Norway delivers another. The guy to save Faze in so many of these situations. B is looking as free as it can be right now. It's only Masuta here. Apex has got the pressure on him right now. He's going to rotate out of window, avoid those nades. Masuta back of the site, alone right now. Flash is being dodged, crouching down, catching one with the bomb, but the spray will not convert.
Apex is here. Apex is in position over at the bench. They don't know about him. He's a nasty surprise. Apex trying to land the spray transfer, getting out, gets the reload off, and he's still being a nuisance. Just slowing it down for a moment. Gives time for ZywOo to get into position. Magisk is moving up the short side. Oh, it's a 1v2 now. Norvi, we've said his name so much here on Mirage. He's given us so much, but he's got to do even more in this clutch. Spammed out. ZywOo's there to close. And Vitality, they're going to the Legend stage. They rock on up here to Mirage. They might have faced some difficulties, but with Apex leading the way, they follow through with a win over Faze.
With every roster, we always say they need time, and with time, Vitality have put together quite a show, quite a feat. A 3-0 and a 3-map winning streak on Mirage, a map we never really expected to see these Danes shine on exactly like they have. That was an incredible game from absolutely everyone. Apex starting so slow, but his recovery across Dust and Mirage were absolutely perfect. For Faze, that has to feel devastating, being that close, having that many chances, winning that many ecos, but they still fall short of the 3-0 dream. 2 more chances for Faze to get through.
Yeah, I mean, their future is not secured, right? That's the scary part. They still have to battle. They still have to soldier on. But Vitality, man, you know, you pointed at Apex. I do just want to reiterate, like, from going from being bullied at door on Nuke, being just showing up time and time again, looking really frustrated, and then, you know, closing it out in this fashion, being the difference maker on Dust 2, being the guy who gave them that, like, final nudge to get Mirage over the line with his deagle. Ah, dude, what a treat of a series. For Faze, it's always going to hurt. They had victory right there, but they still have chances. They're not out of this one yet.
What a great time to see this Vitality roster perform on the most important event of this team's timeline just yet at the Major. They'll be going through to top 16, and we'll be going to the desk to see what the hell they made of that banger BO3.
It was unreal. It was absolutely fantastic. And of course, commiserations to Forza, but they will still have 2 chances or 2 best of 3s to make it to the Legend stage. But it is Vitality, that war cry of Apex saying, Mirage is my home. And they damn well heard it because it was loud enough, and they're very close together, as we know. But his coming alive, I think, is almost symbolic into the standing up of Vitality throughout this series, finally clinching their Legend spot.
Yeah, it's almost poetic to see Apex play such a role in that victory after the drought on Nuke. We talked about all his troubles and tribulations he had to go through on that first map, and then he rises, he shines on Dust 2, and then on Mirage as well. He's got that round with the double headshot. Here. The man of the hour is actually coming and joining us right now. That was insane. Ça va, frérot? Tiens, je te donne le casque. Fais-toi plaisir. Ça va?
Congratulations.
Straight into it.
Thank you.
One-tap deagle? 2 one-tap deagle?
I don't know what
Talk
happened.
about it.
That was insane.
Normally, my deagle is not working that well, to be honest. And the second shot was like, okay, why not? I take it.
I was blown away.
Last time, Pimp was on the desk and you asked him immediately how many tournaments have you won. Luckily, you didn't see all the segments because we were going a bit hard in on you after Nuke, especially Mathieu. But oh my God, the turnaround, Apex. Talk to me about, you know, how the series went for you.
Well, Nuke was quite hard. We lost key rounds on T side, 3v2, 2-3v2, I guess. That made us like struggling a little bit at the beginning of the T side. And CT, yeah, they play really chaotic, running everywhere, and that was really hard for us to counter. Even though I wasn't like good individually, they just like really stomped me. Like for the first map was insane. And then, yeah, that was more on my side. I could show them that even at 29, I can play better than the young guys. And yeah, those 2 CT side that just play pretty well, and Mirage as well, so it just feels good.
Yeah, your reaction from map 1 to the rest was really impressive, and I would like to ask you on an individual level, how do you go from Nuke, you said it was really complicated, destroyed you, and then you move on to Dust 2 and then 3rd map, and you have 2 great maps. How do you reset from one to the other?
Well, you need to accept. You need to accept that they were better than you, and that's what happened. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't shoot that much. My bullets, they were like headshotting me really fast, the young guys, and I couldn't do much. And just accepting that, and what is most important is keeping your identity. My identity is taking duels, trying to kill people, and that's what I've done in City Side. And I think on City Side Dust 2, I was 19-4 or something like that at the beginning, and that helped me to get my confidence back, even though I clutched as well on T Side Dust 2, and everything went good again and again. And yeah, Mirage was just the continuing of Dust 2, I would say.
And now, just on team perspective, we talked together at the end of the RMR. You said that was one of the hardest time possible. Now you've had a cleaner, simpler way into the Legend stage. Do you feel confident? You feel where you want to be with the team moving into the Legend stage?
Well, it's getting better. Obviously, today wasn't as smooth as yesterday. We struggled more. We lost some bad runs, but it happens. It's CS, and nothing is easy, most likely at majors. But yeah, everything is getting better. I think the team is getting much better in every aspect. Today we just didn't play with the same confidence that we played yesterday. Obviously, most likely the Dust to T-side was a bit shaky as well. But yeah, step by step, I'm just feeling good, and just feels good to have 3-0 and going on the next stage, because that's what we were looking for. That's it.
Yeah. Let's talk about Mirage just a little bit. We were talking about the fact that do you know what you're going to scream before you scream it? Because you were like, Mirage is my home, and we all caught it. But I feel like you must lose so much energy by doing that. You're just
you don't know me. You don't know
He
me.
told me. He told
don't know
me.
My teammates say, even though you're really tired, you have even more energy. And that's how I am. I mean, energy is full in me.
Yeah,
I cannot be out of energy, so it's all right.
It's great to see. We want to look at some rounds with you. Round 15, this is one that Dupree clutches out. And actually, to his credit, even on Nuke, for instance, there were some moments where Dupree was instrumental. Could you talk me through his performance today?
Well, I don't think it was his best performance overall, but he did, some really key runs. I think Mirage was starting really bad for us. We were like 6-3 down, and we won 9-6 the C-side, which is really good. I don't think Peter played that well the best of three. I don't think he's proud of himself on this one, but he actually did a good job on winning those clutches that mattered the most at some point. And yeah, that's what is the most important sometimes. Just winning this one was really important. I was a bit scary after the spray didn't short, and then he stopped, and that's something I would not do. I would keeping my spray, and yeah, there he stopped his spray and just
I feel like you have Dupree, and even though he's having a bad game, he's in that clutch, and you know he can actually win it. Is that something that you feel as well, that he's that safe value? It doesn't matter what happens.
I mean, Peter, we both 29, we both like old players, and yeah, he's that type of player that still has it. He's 29, but he has nothing to envy to the young guys. And yeah, even though he has bad runs, I know that bad game. I know that at some point he can like pop up and win the World Clutch, and that's what matters the most when you have such incredible players. You just like, sometimes obviously it's not your day. You're getting fucked by everyone, and it's how it happened. But yeah, then you show up when it matters the most, and that's what he did, and that's why it's Dupree. I mean, we have nothing to say about him.
Ready to play? You play with Dupree now. You've played your whole career. We played against him so many times, and now he's actually next to you.
That's so funny. That's so funny. I mean, now it's okay, but at the beginning I was a bit confused. I was a bit confused. I was like, I played against this guy for more than 10 years, and now we're in the same team. Doesn't make sense.
Crazy. So since we're singing your praises, let's take a look at round 27 as well,
Sure.
because we thought this was just lost. This is well, you'll see.
Man, this second shot, I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened.
Look,
the second one is like a snap.
Yeah.
This is in slow motion.
Yeah.
It looks like a bit or something, or someone like this, not Apex. It's good.
It's
I mean,
old school Apex. I remember this Apex.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes I can also pop up and do something crazy.
I'm hearing you reference age a lot for Dupree, for yourself, and I know it's a huge topic right now. Is there anything
exactly,
you
that's why I talk about it.
Exactly.
I don't feel all that old. I think I have more envy than any young players. I work more than any young players. So that's why I'm still here as well, and I don't really care about the age. It's just like fun part because people talk a lot about that. That's why I'm talking about it.
Well, you look 22 to me, so
yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Devil
I look. I don't have enough hairs and stuff like that.
Is there anything you wanted to ask Apex or say about Vitality?
I wanted to give a shout out to Magisk on that CT side on Mirage. I thought he was crucial for you grinding that map out, because he had a bunch of impact rounds on the A side, and which I think is extremely hard to play as an anchor.
Yeah.
And he
the hardest position,
got picks. He caught uppers in A-apps. He caught people in ramp.
He did
and
many
he did a 4K when they pushed him on site. So
that's true.
He was really good, I thought.
Yeah, it was quite insane. I'm not gonna lie. The thing is with Mirage, we won 9-6 at C-side, which is really good T-side. Then we lose the pistol, but then we are really. I mean, I'm lucky as well on window, and I kill someone to the smoke with the scout. Maybe you haven't seen it.
That was a mean one.
Yeah.
And then we win the round, and we lose like to 1.4 money, which is really hard to lose from. And we almost won as well an eco round when I have P250 on default, and I kill 2, and we 4v2, but we still lose it.
guys, it's your boy from Sweden, and in today's video, Rise and Shine. Yeah, no shit, I woke up at 4 AM today to cover this update. I usually don't do videos when there's just a major because we have the them every so often each year, and now we've come to know
here. Everybody from ENCE a couple of steps behind, and Shox is going to challenge right into the crosshair of DGT. 3 kills for him already. Naf's position unknown, falls down into the water, and that is all the kills to DGT. OC hits the flick upwards. Bomb inbound. And OC sticks around to deny DGT his ace.
Go for
5,
it.
I think not.
Damn.
But still an excellent round from DGT. And he was that solo AK in the previous round as well. So he's off to a great start. 9-3, 168 ADR.
Yeah.
ENCE back to the lead, 3-2.
DGT.
You're thinking really hard what that stands for, huh?
This guy trucks.
Dem grande testes.
Okay. All right. You used my thinking time slot. That's not fair.
I did. Yeah, thank you for holding that up. Meep, meep, move. ENCE back to the lead, huh?
The Roadrunner can also speak English, by the way.
Couple of goose eggs here on Liquid's side. Nitro 0 kills, Naf 0 kills. They'll get that sorted soon enough. But you wouldn't think they'd do it with such measly guns. This time they don't have Shox's MP9. They don't have that scout on a leash.
They messed up on a good setup again. They had the double monster ready for the hit. But DGT. Full stop.
Couple bodies here in connector. David looks for the melons. And they both get popped. Max as well. Easy does it here. Comfortable 5 versus 2 for ENCE to just convert this into the 4th round win. T side. Nice and easy.
Awkward money. They're going to buy, but it's not going to be lovely. And I think we're going to go no head armor on this one so they can get nades. Off, of course, comes through. And Nitro will pick up the rest of the nades. And the kits actually absolutely needed to do that. So we'll instantly go on to the MP9 opportunity here for ENCE to snowball heavily. Rock down a slope if they win this round.
Heavy stack to the B side early, but just DGT going over there on his own. Boost afforded to Liquid.
Man,
DGT's looking for this, but oh my god, he wins that?
He's on one right now. He can't really be stopped.
He reads into that boost. And it looks like it kind of caught him off guard because it was like a really nice angle from Naf, a more passive one. Used the brick wall to block off connector peak.
That's the leverage right there for ENCE. They're grouping up again. We've seen dead moments in the mid round versus Liquid. Liquid have seen this NB in this exact same scenario previously. Holding on a short water's a nice response. Their double up on monsters haven't been working. And they think they might be ahead of this execute. Now they could still catch the late player, so the smokes come in. The site's going to be taken over. It's actually not the worst case situation, but they kind of want someone at least around in heaven to keep tabs on who's where.
DGT just throws an entire tool belt of utility and then just locks in Deep Monster. So OC, he's waiting and he's waiting, but all the while he waits, it's just a B site taken from 9Z. So OC finally decides to peel those eyes off of that short tunnel, and good thing he does, because he gets the better of Rocks. And with Shox finding Lucan, it is man advantage here for Liquid, not to mention DGT still so close to death at the depths of Monster.
I think they know he's there too, because OC didn't leave the post.
Yeah, all those grenades were thrown and they never saw the cross. Elige looking for players within this site, but it is a really good job of 9Z to just press up closely. DGT will be found out. Now these players know that their flank is compromised. Max is deep on Graffiti. Nice second headshot into Nitro, and he finds himself into the 1v1. Elige comes off a bomb, and Max, oh, he's done it. A 1 versus 3 inside the B site to keep this ball rolling.
Oh, that second shot was so hot, Max.
Beautiful.
Clipped him, running up to the side of the site. Well done. Floor bang. And he's dead. In this, getting things into place for the retake looked great for Team Liquid. They got the 2 kills. Opposite side of the maps, they kept tabs on one guy outside Monster, but no one in the site, no one to put any pressure on as they were coming in. Allowed 9Z to get way too comfortable, especially pushing in towards CT spawn. They had enough players to lose. And of course, a lot of that just comes down to Max and his individual skill to win the 1v3, but that's also the space that was created when they saw the site was empty to begin with. And somehow an op can still be afforded, actually. Oh, no, Elige saved it from the last round.
Yes, sir.
And he's the one with armor, and it looks like he also has a mid spawn. So I don't know if he's taking the stairs or taking the actual mid peak, but he's going to do something aggressive with this. So it looks like he's going stairs.
He's got Shox glued to him. Elige, oh, he lands the shot. Rock's alive. Wallbang damage makes the exit a little awkward.
Damn, he actually would have gone for a reswing if not for that damage.
Nicely done there from DGT. Just pressure him, scare him.
That op shot looked pretty convincing. Excited to see the Elige hybrid this round. That's a dink. But you can dink DGT, it doesn't mean that much to him.
That Monster route so wide open. Smoke into heaven, flashbangs just in case, but there is nobody here to stop it.
Rinse and repeat.
And now we're talking 6 terrorist round wins for 9Z.
Yeah.
Rounds deep.
Yep.
At the very least, Op will be moved forward from Elige, so yeah, sure. I mean, he landed his shot. That could have been the 5v4. But it wasn't enough to kill Rocks. DGT scared him away before the repick could come through.
The what?
The re-peek or re-pick. Or the like I said. Okay, did I not speak clearly?
Yeah, I didn't understand what you meant. How do you say re-peek in French?
I don't know. And see, here's my shortcoming. People always ask, could you cast in French? No, because I feel like I would just start using all the English Counter-Strike words with a French accent. It's a re-peek. Hey man, il fait un re-peek. Faites attention, il va faire un re-peek.
So that means I can speak French too.
Yeah, it's not about what you say, it's about how you say it.
Re-peek.
You gotta roll your R's, and we know you can. No, that's stop. Stop that. Smoke.
That's, that was the Brazilian storm.
Okay, yeah.
That we've been hearing about.
Yeah, we're waiting. Latin America's still on the map. 4-round lead over Liquid. What you got to offer, Shox? He's currently the most successful player on Liquid here on Overpass. And he just gets through that smoke, uses it as an exit strategy. and tucks into the bathrooms. ENCE haven't showed us much love for this A site, in fact.
Yeah, it's been good though, right? Because they got that, even through the thickest B setups, they won. So Liquid kind of have no choice but to either like double down on it, find a new way to win. But when they went for short, ENCE still won. So this is just a gaping wound in the mind of Liquid, where they have to overcompensate for B, but they also have to think about A all the time. And we'll see if Liquid, or if ENCE finally pick the right opportunity to attack the A side as well. Because you know they're only doing it because they're supposed to. Very important for Liquid's confidence to win this. Otherwise, both sides of the map just fully compromised. And the op is here.
Nicely done from Shox. Finds his impact.
The op goes down.
2 quick kills. Naf swings wide, able to get beyond the dumpster, into the truck with David in his crosshairs and a little bit more damage too. That's Max walking wounded. Lucan holding flank. And Nitro, if he's not fast about this swing, should be a dead man walking. Now it just falls onto the shoulders of Elige, 1v3. And I don't think he likes his chances the way he's looking at this smoke. Dude. He wants to get out of here. And with that, a 5-round advantage for ENCE. They've hit this B site. They've rocked the A site. They've got this T side under wraps so far.
Yeah, now it's just whatever's easier. That was a solid A hit. They done B over and over again. Bro, where's OC at, man? He's gone missing. Those are, I was missing a couple of key shots. The other day we had some trouble on Inferno as well, finding some op impact. Doing more with a rifle, I feel like, so far in the challenger stage. That's not what I expected to see.
I think the majority of his kills so far on this map are from a USP. Got a 2K
on
USP,
the
man.
pistol, or?
No, that force buy they won.
He has 5 kills, so you need 3.
Well, I'm not very good at math.
That was a big round, though. You're right.
Nitro 100% does have the same mousepad as Cello. I have now confirmed.
There's the Brazilian Storm.
Fact. Lucan getting vocal.
Yeah. Yeah, man. ENCE's T sides are awesome. Overpass is awesome. This is the map that they beat Vitality on. That was a big win. They're coming up with Try. It's definitely, yeah, map. They've got some massive performances on. I think it's the one that really made their team who they are. So, very comfortable and looking like it. We'll say not the best form from Liquid, especially considering like when they're in position, they have stacked the right side. They know what's coming. It's just that they still lose. That's where it's a little worrying. Like right there, the rifle op setup, Shox getting a single kill, the op going down 1 bulleted to an AK. That's not acceptable. It's not going to work out in the long run. And that's not a problem with the setup so much as the individuals.
OC and Shox looking to tether nicely, but honestly, Shox, he's about to get hit from the back. Frags go past him. Nice push here.
This
Shox
guy
will finish off Lucan. And honestly, it's no guarantee that Shox goes down without another, because he just took Max down to 15 health. Suddenly, Max wants to run for the hills. Oh, and the nade from Elige through the window. Ooh. It comes off of short B. Like a homing missile, a bunker buster. Connector still being held onto here from Shox. DGT wants to get into the fight, and Shox has done a world of damage.
He did. He killed everybody. I mean, he dinked 2 people and got 2 kills. With the MP9 again, man, he's got so many kills with the MP9. Another half-buy, low-buy that Liquid win. Are you kidding me?
But if OC can't land this shot, if they get past OC, then the A site's compromised.
Okay, here it is, OC.
Gonna play it nice and quiet. That USP, baby. Oh. Taps into the head of David.
Now you're right.
Holds and waits. And the flashbang's not a problem as OC locks this in. I'm simply a fortune teller.
4 kills out of 7 at least with the USP. And Shox, all 10 have been MP9, I think.
Yeah, sure. I don't care if I'm lying through my teeth. All 10.
All 10 probably. No, Shox at least 6, I think.
Majority of these rounds by way of, I don't even want to call that a force buy, dude.
He had the MP9 round, got 2 kills. Then the next round, from the money, bought the MP9 again and got 2 kills.
2, 4.
That's 9. Yeah. Then he did this.
He got 6.
Like almost 36 kills with that one gun.
Shox has 15 kills with the MP9 this map. That's more foreshadowing.
Facts don't care about your feelings.
Can they keep it rolling? Listen, you know, Liquid, they're hanging on. You win a couple rounds like that, maybe you bounce back into this half, but any warning to 9Z, I'd say don't let that happen again. Two maximum quota.
The OC Shox tether will be tested once again as the pincer on the A site starts to come in. Bomb is still left back, so they have the option to pivot with stairs control. They have a fast rotation, and no CTs have taken over short water as well. So in terms of time, 9Z are winning this position just slightly, but comes down to the op. The pressure is mounting on OC to deliver on an op shot. I'm going to put it that simple.
Shox patience, man, gets covered perfectly, finds the one in the back, and almost just guns down everybody.
Oh, it's actually the flash from Max that catches Lucan somehow. I think it dropped out of his hand.
Oh, awkward, dude. 15 seconds to try and recover, or just call this one quits. Shox like a statue, cemented inside of that bathrooms. Off of the OC coverage, goes for his play, guns down 2, and wins this one for Liquid. That's 2 consecutive victories and a 3-round lead now, all that separates Liquid and 9Z.
Yeah, that's much more solid for sure. It literally comes down to one op shot. For most, you know, sometimes all you have to do, so they do a good job there. And I really wonder if 9Z, because they don't have to, if they want to go back to Monster Hit. Because they absolutely have the capability, they have the comfort. They got DGT.
He gets through the smoke again. DGT, it's been a little lapse here in that big impact. This could be another one, but nope. Elige will find the better of him. Elige slowly climbing the scoreboard as well, looking to be Shox's right-hand man. And if you're killing DGT, then you're taking a big piece out of 9Z's puzzle.
Yeah, that's weight off the shoulders. DGT dead.
Shox just omnipresent in connector. Every round it feels like. And even when he's not, they're still cautious about it. You know, he's got an impression left and an OC.
Okay.
Now there we go, right? You said it last round, it hinges on that op shot.
Yeah. Simple also hits that.
Yes.
Brokey
hits that.
Brokey hits that.
Shox. Ooh, puts his head on a silver platter. David's still wounded, but it's at least something from 9Z, a kill. And yet still more work to be done. OC, nice. Just tracks David as he tries to get around that further corner. Lucan could be the next target for OC if he decides to run this risk of a long peek.
They can't even get back to this bomb. It's too far away, man. It's too far away, yeah.
No need for OC to go anything further than what he's done. He's won the round with that kill, dropping bomb, cutting it off from any attempted entry. And sure enough, 5 rounds now to the way of Liquid means that lead is disappearing.
Yeah, they're starting to find their balance a little bit. It's a little bit sketchy there.
Been a little while since 9Z have gone back to the B site, right? DGT on his own this time, gets found out by Elige.
Yeah.
They started this half with B site success.
Yes, they did. Now, that for that reason, they might feel like it's predictable, so they don't want to fall into that trap. And they did win a really good round on A2, so I think it's fine. There's still actually 3 rounds left. There's another buy coming in right away. There's always the opportunity to put that on. And I think if they had potentially won with that A attack, then, man, them potentially going B next round would have been even more scary for Liquid. So, but now, you know, one thing is I do feel like there's, you know, Shox is, it feels way more, comfortable by himself, but I haven't seen the tether setup work out that well. We saw one situation where, you know, accidental team flash allowed Shox to get the multi-frag. But if not for that, it would have gone a 1-for-1. That's not like an amazing hold on the A side or anything. So not too many successful moments where he's played inside of the bathrooms with OC as the op. That's one thing. Inside of stairs, he's been indomitable.
Really being left to his own devices this round.
We've seen him do this before. Once where he held this position too long. Now versus this one fight. Oh, he comes back into the spot. It's actually a nice fight, but David gets a bullet through the sign into his head.
Through the post. He'll walk away with 10 health, David, so little bit of luck. Wallbang attempt from DGT's solo B play.
So you can see this is a round that Liquid were expecting it to be B. They left Shox up there. He was ready to full flank. You got to appreciate that 9Z, like you mentioned. Most of their rounds, they won over on B side, but they're still willing to continuously test A.
Woo! Tuck behind truck, man. Good piece of cover from Naf, but Rox finds the headshot. That's 2 players still low from 9Z, but at least that front side of the site there is for the taking. And utility to keep anybody at bay. Elige wants to get testy. OC will round the flames. Oh, just missed what could have been that shoulder peek, dude. Feels like OC feels surrounded, feels swarmed, and with 5 players still up from 9Z, understandable. 3 of them leaning over on long, and Lucan immediate headshot into Elige as he rounds that dumpster. Second counter terrorist gonna get past. OC landing the op shot, but then is caught by Max, and that's just the numbers game. You peel a guy off default, you get your first kill long, you don't anticipate a second player so close, and DGT is still at B.
Here he is lurking. Okay, he'll go down. Yeah, they had a lot of things in place. Comes down to that first kill. They took the risk with Shox up in that spot. Doesn't always work. If it was a B-side hit, he would have been a nice fast flank. That situation doesn't pay off. And it's also a situation where, yeah, I mean, so far, it's a great half from 9Z, even though Liquid have mounted a small comeback overall. This many T rounds, impressive stuff.
I respect the insistence to get onto that A site. You know, I called it myself, dude. I was thinking, oh, go back B. Nope. 9Z. Keep him split. Curious to see if Shox is going to go back to a more tethered setup, but he's not even here, man. Instead, it's just OC using that op with early vision.
They're waiting for it. They really want it to be B. They're finally going to, I think, get the round they're looking for, but doesn't mean they'll win.
We've seen 9Z get through this part of the setup with less.
Looks like 9Z will wait out everything. And they've got one guy throwing nades over on the A site to draw out utility. Make it look like this default is occurring once again. They would love to get a kill before the exact, but I don't think they care too much. Another smoke comes down. It's a full kit. It's a risky game, actually, that 9Z are playing because this is a fully stocked Liquid, and I think they should have been able to see that within the money. And now Liquid are going to find out for sure that it's not the A site. As soon as Shox doesn't see anybody lining up CT grenades outside bathrooms.
But there is one there, dude. There's about to be a fight. David peeks in.
Yeah, that's one.
It's a bit of a warning sign, but still enough
smoke,
utility
yeah, very
to just
risky
keep them
game
off.
For Liquid, for
They're
9Z
out.
to do that.
They're gone.
Yeah.
Oh, you just can't justify it.
Yeah, that was very risky. 9Z they tried to do that in the earlier rounds, but the nades were a lot lower for Liquid, so they could just wait them out. But that's not something that should work versus a good team. And Liquid got the signs. They got the map control back. They slowly worked on it.
That's got to feel so disappointing if you're 9Z. You never get to pull the trigger.
Look at all the nades they're holding on to
they're
that they
just
didn't
waiting.
use it. Oh, I just want to throw these somewhere.
What are you going to spend all that money on next round?
Yeah,
Actually,
well,
there's not much money.
Yeah, and definitely a gun and some nades.
One man re-equipped, and 1 round still to go here. Close halves been the name of the game this series. Looking for a second 8-7. Both teams putting up solid T-sides on their map picks.
They shouldn't be so scared of losing people defaulting towards A before they end B. I mean,
ooh, damn.
Wow.
Deadly nade damage. Another frag goes deep. That's Max down to 29. Then the wallbangs start coming through, so caution for 9Z on the short setup. Max goes back around towards Monster. Ooh. Not far off the mark, but Nitro stays
thick-ass wall.
and comfortable. Got them bamboo sheets. OC about to be tested on long. Shock's walking up. Maybe being out of cover here. Oh, there's no coverage. Shock's still able to get the better of David. And then OC will come back from the bathroom's peak with the second kill for Liquid on long. He doesn't waste any time either. Just immediately falling away, drops the smoke and goes silent.
Yeah, worried about getting hunted, but he's done what he needs to do to safely escape.
And he gets all the way back by the looks of things. Rock's trying to follow. Currently CT split 2-2. DGT still inside of short water, man. He's been here since the start of the round, it seems. And yet he's seen nothing. Rock's blocked off by utility. We can't just let this round fizzle out like it did in the previous because it's the final of the half. And by losing Lucan up at the top of mid, Rock comes out. Bomb has been dropped. There's still enough time to recover, but Elige has other ideas. As it is 7 CT victories for Liquid, 9Z's lead at the end of T-side still stands, but by a measly single round.
Yeah, pretty decent overall. You know, they won some rounds that were really hard to win. They weren't supposed to. Difficult execs. They had some solid defaults. A couple of rounds were it's a little bit too predictable.
Yeah.
Not much there.
Started to get really slow towards the end.
Yes, excruciatingly so. And yeah, looking pretty comfortable. Great moments from Shocks, especially early on, to secure them any rounds at all. This could have been a much worse half.
Agreed.
So I think the 7-8 is really accurate for once. You know, it represents exactly how much of a battle this was between these two rosters. And I think it's fair to say 9Z played slightly better.
Well, we'll see if they can just lock in this victory on their map pick. Does not feel like a shoe-in. It'll be a hard-fought battle with everything on the line here. Elimination starts to creep into the back of your head. One half that could make a difference for your career, for your life, for your dreams. And David, dead, down on the long fight. That's a man advantage for Liquid in the second pistol, and Naf just waits for nobody. Crawls and tumbles his way through Monster.
He's moving in. He's going to clear out Headshot in a second.
Very open B site. 9Z, they want that retake, but they're already a man down. Luckily for them, DGT gets the better of a Legion connector, and that opens a route.
Oh, reverse boost into heaven.
Very cool.
This is money, actually. There's nobody up here. Shocks can turn into a flank, and they planted for him up here. It looks like open. No, did they?
they do, Blair. This has been such a good start now for G2.
Absolutely. It looks like whatever they're planning to execute and all these rounds are winning, it's just working to perfection, right? The way they were able to kind of lure Madden in towards CD spawn, trying to go for that little bit of a mid-to-B ruse, and Nico just dropping in. And even though Madden, was able to stay alive for a couple of seconds, helped out by a flashbang from his teammates towards the B bomb site, the moment they have full control towards mid and CD spawn, that's a defense being split. And from then G2, they had wherever they wanted to go. But to go for the A bomb site, Hades missing a crucial shot. Maybe if he found the first, able to fall back to a more passive angle towards long, where Snappy was alive, maybe ENCE would have been able to turn that one around. But G2 right now are looking really, really hot. And for the side of ENCE, the 2 saved rifles, a few pistols, and that's all they have to work with.
My concern here for ENCE additionally is they want to get Hades in the game as fast as possible. He's had a slow start, but their economy also hasn't really allowed him to have his hands in that AWP. Meanwhile, Madden watching on the cross, a lot of damage through the smoke. Jack's down to 16. May think better of that, but 4 players clumped up and a molly down on car suggests they're going to hang around a bit longer.
I like this. Like, when you have just the 2 rifles to work with, might as well go for a little bit more of a gamble stack. You know there's a presence coming in from a G2 towards long, and they've done this a couple of times as well, have G2 just all 5 members grouping up towards long, which makes me feel a little uncomfortable. But ENCE, I wouldn't say they've been cowed, but I've seen ENCE play in Dust 2 in the past, and they've usually have this kind of almost like a no-respect, hyper-aggressive CD side where they keep poking and prodding and making life feel uncomfortable. But right now, they're giving quite a bit of respect towards G2. Spinks rattling off a number of bullets. He tickles down m0NESY to 19, but m0NESY will hit the shot, just spotting Spinks right above the smoke.
Issue here, though, on ENCE is they only have a flash left, and they've just tossed it out on long. There's no follow-up peek, no smokes, no incendiaries, 2 players on pistols. So yes, you've got a couple players low here, but what can you do about it? Well, Dihaz says, I've got an A1S, and I'm going to spray down on 2 players. And it's the cousins that go across him as he looks to try and finish off the rest. Has a chance, nails it on a 3rd, looking for a 4th as well, but m0NESY has dealt the fatal blow, and with 25 seconds to play with now, G2 are reeling. Both players super low, m0NESY with a slight gap on the smoke has made it work, and now Madden on the flank could have them both dead to rights. There's one, but misses his 2nd shot. 10 seconds to play with. Madden just needs to play possum, and Jack's rushing towards the site, needs to get this plant down right now. Gonna be able to have a couple moments to just retrieve a little position. Bit of reprieve now for him, and Jack peeks up. The perfect time. Madden switches his weapon, and it's put in the dirt.
Oh, those are some little bit of unconfirmed damage coming out there, Vince. If he knew how low Jax was, he would have gone for the duel. He would have gone for the fight. But Jax coming up absolutely clutch. That looked like a disaster of a round for G2, right? They were getting kind of they were getting kind of trapped towards long. Diha doing whatever he could with that M4A1. Snappy unfortunately getting caught by m0NESY through that gap, but in the end, Jax, he is solid. He is good enough to clutch it out in the end. And G2, they survive a bit of a scare there. For ENCE, though, that was kind of the eco, around maybe a couple of upgraded pistols around they saved A1, and now the buy is going to be coming in once more. For G2, though, there's going to be a bit of a kick in their economy, but they're still looking very, very solid here. They've laid a pretty solid foundation as to, for how many ever rounds they want to get here on this T side. But right now, if I'm G2, I'm feeling pretty comfortable. Sure, there have been a couple of scares here and there, but the individuals, their game plan, is kind of working out perfectly. Speaking of working out perfectly, m0NESY's been gifted a freebie by Diha.
Interesting that Diha has the AWP over Hades instead. I assume that was based off spawn to peek up mid as fast as possible.
One would assume so, but Hades is all the way towards long, so kind of strange, because Hades, he was playing towards long. I'd assume he had a long spawn, in which case usually you might just give it to the AWP player, so bit of a curious decision being made there. Hopefully maybe we can go back to the VOD or the demo, figure out what really transpired in that round. Right now, though, G2 getting an opening pick, and m0NESY already 11-3. Oh, he's looking deadly.
This is certainly a player that is proving a lot of people wrong, and maybe reaffirming some people's belief in him as well. They doubted. They said, oh, he's too young at a major to perform. Well, he has something to say about that one.
I mean, there were a lot of people saying that about when they played IM Katowice, and then he just 1v3 the simple electronic and bit. I'm just saying, the guy was born for this game. Once more, G2 this time around going to be creeping and crawling their way up towards short. The difference this time being they have Jax all the way towards top mid to ensure they don't get flanked from behind. And here comes the play, and Hunter will hunt Madden in that A bombs that taps him away. It's a 5v3, and if I'm ENCE, I'm already considering going for the save. The money, well, they have no money. Just going to save these weapons and maybe try and buy around it. Maybe, you know, force like a FAMAS, a scout perhaps, but things aren't really looking good for ENCE right now.
No, they're not. And they did get the chance at an AWP. I think another reason you're obviously going to save, and it's a very unwinnable situation, is to give Hades another chance. However, I'm curious if we're going to have Diha maybe occupying himself with that AWP going forward. Something to maybe keep an eye out for, if it's dependent on spawns, as we're probably expecting it was, or if it's going to be more of a permanent fixture. That being said, though, ENCE aren't really too bothered about chasing down these players. They seem relatively content to allow the remainder of ENCE to stay alive over on the B side of the map, and they will hold on to the AWP and the 2 M4s with a healthy dosage of Kevlar and a smoke on top of it. So let's have a look. With those 3 save weapons, they could try and rummage together a 4-spy here. They'll be coming back into the 9th round, though, 6-2 behind. And obviously, we did hear the desk discuss this before, that this feels like if G2 want to get this done in 2-0, they may need to pick up Dust too, because Ancient's not exactly one of their greatest maps.
Yeah, I think the desk painted a perfect picture there. And again, this time it's a different name, but once again, they keep picking m0NESY, man, every single time. Like, he's too fast. He is just too fast, and he is going to come out of the duel every single time. He's 4-0 right now for opening duels, and G2 as a whole are 7-2 in opening duels. They're showing why they picked this map, and just getting back to what we were touching upon when the desk set is going to be a three-mapper affair. Ancient, I feel, I don't want to say it, but it feels like a foregone conclusion, because ENCE are very, very, very comfortable on that map. G2 don't look that great on it, and m0NESY missing a shot there. It's all right, though. And yeah, for G2 to take this series, in all honesty, even though Maui said he expects G2 to take this, it's going to be on Dust2 and Mirage that they are going to be looking to find their wins, right? Because Ancient, it's going to be extremely hard against Snappy and his calling style, especially with how comfortable they are on this map. For the very first time, though, Vince, it's going to be a hit coming into its B this time around.
It is, and Madden, I think, has a good idea as to what's coming up. He's just pushing outside of long right now, seeing nothing in mid. 1-for-1 trade, Bob gets spilled down. Here comes Diha, spraying in for 1 and a second as well. And he's been the shining light right now for ENCE. He's got himself 8 kills. Hunter and Nico remain. Tread lightly, though.
Look at the tunnel.
Yeah, the tunnel is definitely a problem, but Nico no longer will be. Hunter's about to get flanked, and he gets swept away from Madden, whose long flank round long has played out dividends. 3-6 will be the score. ENCE finally get themselves back on the board, but that has to be the first step of many if they want to get straight back into this game.
That could have easily still gone the way of G2, right? Like, again, props to Diha for just somehow turning it around. He goes for the spray through the smoke. They kind of got stuck at the entrance of tunnels. Great work from him. Spinks, he finds one, he gets traded immediately. And Madden, again, like you pointed out, he gets the flank in from tunnels. Nico gets caught with that lurk. So good read overall coming out from ENCE, but they need more of that. They need more of that, and now they do have a double upset coming out. Spinks with the AWP. We've seen that a few times in the past. And Hades and Spinks, the 1-2 wombo combo with the Zoom bangers. Madden just jumping across. This is huge. Spinks, though. Are they going to be expecting this as a question? Spinks hears a drop down. He knows there's a player nearby. It's going to be Nico. And Spinks, crosshair train. He's looking for him. And he's going to miss the shot. And Nico, always ready, always deadly, finds yet another opening pick for the side of G2.
The worrying signs on the side of ENCE here, though, is even if they are soloed on Ancient, there are just parts of this puzzle that have not fired off yet. They are not clicking the way you'd expect. They're comfortable on this map. They shouldn't be getting blown out this hard on the CT side. We're seeing Spinks not quite have the impact you expect. Diha has just been eradicated from Jax, who goes in and just banishes both. Oof. The A site is open for business, and it's going to be Jax that is wielding his team across for another round, potentially.
Not a single point of damage being taken by Jax. It's unreal how everyone on this G2 side seems to be so switched on right now. Hunter has been looking very, very solid. m0NESY, I mean, he's 12-4. That itself is good enough. We've seen Nico just tapping away fools, and just everyone's having a very comfortable time here. And I said, ENCE, we're going to be needing more from you guys, but G2, they immediately switch things up. And look, there's not much you can do when Jack's just going to be popping hits like that. Obviously, looking for the final, gets tagged a bit by, but immediately plucks Madden's head clean off his shoulders. Clean round coming out from G2. You can see smiles all around, fist bumps as well. They're looking pretty mighty comfortable. And again, this is the first time that these two particular lineups have ever faced, whether online or LAN doesn't really matter. Because the last iteration of G2 when we had Amanek playing for that team. We didn't have Monacy yet. We didn't. They also still had Nexa. They were playing against, I do believe it was when Madden hadn't joined in. They still had Dodo, and it was like what, like October last year. I think it was IM fall the last, or IM winter the last time these two teams faced. So they haven't really faced each other. And Maui and Pimp, I think they painted a very good picture that when it comes to a team like G2, like of how, you know, the amount of experience of players like Nico and whatnot, it's not going to be as easy. Like the individual perhaps Spinks, like Maui, I think Maui said made a very good point when he said like how Spinks, he likes holding these off angles and whatnot, getting multi spray downs. Against players like Nico and Hunter with all his little jiggle peaks and just being so very good with their aim, it's not going to work out every single time.
Yeah, this is definitely a significant step up, maybe, from the kind of impact that Spinks was having in previous rounds. Nico, the meanwhile, goes into brisk headshots. The landlord of Catwalk, and he has evicted the CTs, but Snappy, he's a squatter. Says, nah, you can't get rid of me that easily. And he's actually taken the AK as well, and potentially given ENCE a chance.
I love the Molotov, the immediate reply coming in from G2, right? All right, fine, you have the AK-47. You're not going to be walking into the flames, although the smokes will be deployed, allowing them to do something a little crazy. But Spinks able to find one, finds a second kill as well, getting boosted up. That is massive. And Spinks drops on down. And suddenly, from a 5v3, it's down to 2 versus 3. Bomb will be planted. Monacy will give away his position, and Spinks will find the kill, and now it's all down to Alexi B.
Alexi B, 2 separate angles to watch out for, and he gets pinched. It's Snappy that takes him off, and we'll deal with him accordingly. And Nico, you just saw a little wry look on his face, a slight shake of the head. He got 2 clean entries, and they still lose the round.
They played that almost to perfection, did G2. They got a little over-eager. They're like, all right, they're behind the smoke right now. We're just going to be going for the, you know, for the nades and the spams and whatnot. But credit where it's due. That was very quick on-the-fly thinking. They go for the immediate boost. Great spray transfer as well from Spinks. And he even drops down amongst all the commotion. Able to trade immediately as well. A little bit of over-eagerness from G2 there. Pushing a little bit ahead and getting punished. As ENCE, they win a round. In all honesty, they had no business winning considering the investment they had and considering Nico just popped 2 heads at the very beginning of the round. But still, money is still not in a great place here for the side of ENCE. The double upset will once more come out to play. And for G2, of course, they have all the money in the world to work with. The op still in the hands of Monacy. And Spinks, he's getting pretty aggressive here with the AWP, but the flashbang will force him to stay his hand for the time being.
I've got to point out as well, I don't like to say this, but it's a similar result to what happened last major. Great shot from Hades, though. I was just about to say, Hades is 1-9. It's had very little impact. Hasn't had really any opening picks, and he goes and gets one, and now Madden has put the bomb down in long. That is surely a clean, comfortable round for ENCE. Keep in mind their economy. They can't really afford to lose many players from this point. It's not just about winning at this stage, it's about winning cleanly.
Okay.
Okay, well that's going to make it a little bit scrappier, especially as Nico removes the head of Snappy. Now they can go pick up that bomb. It's in an awkward position though. Hades with the AWP misses the shot. And somehow Hunter's picked up the bomb and has the audacity to potentially re-peek this. Hades is scared that Nico may be pushing him from long. Nico's still up on the site itself. What a strange round this has been. And Nico removes the head of Diha. I said surely it has to be around for ENCE, and cleanly so. A 2v5 has gone into a 2-on-2.
Hades getting hunted down. That's a crucial kill for him to find, and now it's all on Nico. 20 seconds to work with. He needs to make a little bit of haste as Hades is going to miss the question. Nico comes jumping around. He should be able to find him, and he will indeed. No, he knows where the second player is as well. There's 8 seconds, and Spinks is just going to run for it, and Nico has to hunt him down, and it is going to be Spinks to save ENCE there. But for a moment, Vince, for a moment... Oh my word, you give an inch, they will take everything away from you. This man is scary.
Man, Blair, that is a win that feels like a loss if you're ENCE.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like, you get across the finish line, okay. that was, what, a 2v5? And you just lost 4 players? Your money is still in the bin? You are still scraping together whatever you can possibly get your hands on. This should have been your golden ticket cashed in to get straight back on the highway towards catching up G2 comfortably. And as it stands now, they still got their hands out begging just for an extra weapon here or there, or an extra bit of utility. And this is where it came from. Hunter and Nico, down but never truly out. Nico was so close to clutching this as well. Was forced into an awkward angle. Don't take anything away from Spinks. It's an excellent shot. If he misses that, he is dead. But look at ENCE. They've got M4s, but they've got no money in their back pocket afterwards. And Munacy again with an entry down middle wins another opening duel.
Okay, all right, hold up. What was that? That's just such a filthy downward flick from Munacy, and oh man, the amount of individual prowess in the server right now, it just boggles my mind. That was so quick, Vince. And yeah, just getting back to what he said right there, like that was around for ENCE to grind this one back, right? Make it a more comfortable attempt for them to make it maybe an 8-7 or a 7-8 half, but if G2 were able to somehow take this round away, which, you know, they've already got the opening pick already, this could easily be like maybe a 10-5 in favor of Nico and his men, and that is not a happy proposition for the side of ENCE.
Going through to the CT side, that is going to be a very difficult second half on the side of ENCE, so they are battling tooth and nail to keep in this. Again, they have got themselves a decent buy in this round, but it's really about the future. It's about the bigger picture. If G2 can get themselves this advantage moving into an 8th round. Time, though, starting to get a little bit scarce. The Sands of Time may end up being a 5th adversary for G2 after all, so they're pressing the button. They're going in full throttle. 30 seconds to play with. Nico drops down, but D-Hat is there to deal with him. Hades goes in through the smoke as well. Jax is the only T that's been able to come out on top in this exchange, and time is still ticking away. D-Hat, alive, will not be able to deny this bomb plant, but is keeping himself up close so that the rest of his team can get up close in themselves. But Hunter removes him, deals with him so quickly, so briskly, that it puts his teammates in such a horrible spot. Snappy and Spinks both trying to sneak their way up towards the side. Just less than half the fuse left on the timer. Both remainder of the Ts are over on Catwalk. Hunter on low HP, 7 to be precise, has dished out the fatal blow to Spinks, and that could be the round. There's no mollies, HEs, or flashes to deal with Snappy, but they would have just heard him drop down, and thus G2 know they've got themselves an 8th round.
They might even be able to hunt him down here. Is he going to cross, though? Yup. Will cross, unfortunately for him. Hunter doesn't scope in, and they will at least save the AWP, but G2 just brute forcing their way onto that side. 3v3. Honestly, I felt like D-Hut did whatever he could, but this shot... Bro!
And he's consistently been doing that, Blair. That's not just a fluke. That's what, his 5th time, maybe down mid, maybe 6th time he's been successful?
They're just gifting him these openings. They're just daring him. Like, they're like, surely he doesn't hit another nasty shot in mid again. Don't do it. Don't you dare do it! He does it again and again and again, Munacy! He doesn't even see it, Vince!
This isn't okay!
This is just, oh my lord. 16 and 7. I think it's like 7 and 0 in opening duels already. And that too, I think every opening duel this one has been down mid. It's been ludicrous. Right now, there's only one saved AWP for the side of ENCE. And just pistols for the rest of them. USPs, in fact. So Snappy has to do pretty much everything by his lonesome. They know where the AWP is. And G2, they're going to slow things down. There's no need to really just run into a stack. They're going to try and be a little bit more methodical how they're going to clear things out. But Snappy, he's got a lot to do. And look, I mean, he has those games. He is capable. But this is going to require a gargantuan effort from the IGL.
Feels more of a scouting tool right now. Had a chance, a pixel, but it dashes past. And maybe that brief moment, that ghost in the night, is going to come back to haunt him now. Hades has lost his life on the side. Snappy simply had to land that shot. It was a difficult one.
He saves now.
Yes, exactly. This has to be a save. They can buy around this. It does put G2 on the 9-5 scoreline. And as you highlighted just before, Blair, that would look pretty good for a 10-5 half. ENCE, keep in mind, they won the pistol. And even with that huge advantage, they still find themselves in a vast deficit. as we go through to the last round of the half. Doesn't seem like G2 are too interested in charging down. Not like their money is exactly in great shape either. AK has also been picked up additionally on the side of Spinks. It's a nice little addition, but the bomb is about to explode. 9-5 the score here, Blair. This is starting to get a little bit worrisome for ENCE.
Yeah, this is a far cry from the G2's T side we saw yesterday. I do believe it was against Spirit, where they went off on an 11-4 CD side, and then their T side was almost, I wouldn't say non-existent, but they were really, really struggling against Spirit there. But this has been them looking much cleaner, much better, much more convincing. The individuals looking fantastic as well. Oh, well, why have you done him like this?
Opening Jewel 6. To be fair, Snappy, he has come back a little bit. He was 0-7, I think, or 0-8 at one stage. m0NESY, wait, he is human after all?
I mean, they're finally using a little bit of utility to cross on over. I think they lobbed in a nade there to kind of throw up debris so he can't see anything. So finally, it looks like ENCE are like, you know what, let's not test him again. Let's not test m0NESY again. As G2, a lot of presence and pressure being exerted towards the B tunnels by Hunter. And has got his cousin towards lower tunnels in the form of Nico to make sure no one is going to be pushing in from mid. And ENCE are going to be slowly peeling back to a much more default position here. Jax is teasing Hades, and Hades will find him. So finally an opening duel going the way here for ENCE, and that's going to immediately force G2 to go for a player. Still a lot of time to work with though. A flash towards short, hoping that draws out a rotation. Right now, m0NESY just going to be holding towards mid, looking to see if anyone's going to be daring to peek him. We've seen ENCE actually go for a couple of dry peeks towards mid. We saw Hades as well, where he did manage to land a kill. But right now, with a man advantage, there's no need to go for anything wild. Right now, it's all about just believing in your defaults, holding on to this bomb sites, well-timed smoke being lobbed in as well by Madden. It's all the roots. It's going to be mid to be play again with Nico dropping out towards CD spawn.
This is one of the first times we've seen this tactic. It's been very A-heavy, small gap in the smoke. Nico is trying to keep them interested. They have decided to divert. This is a double switch and bait, and Nico removes the head of Hades, goes back in, heavy damage to Madden, but he stands on 13 HP, lucky for some. Madden may burn to a crisp, has to come out into the open, and in doing so, Hunter is there to collect. The guillotine comes down, but Diha is keeping this dream alive. 10 seconds to play with. Bomb does get planted, and Hunter in the meanwhile makes short work of Diha. 2-on-2. They know one of these players is on catwalk, well played flashbang, but this double tag team has now been put down to a solo effort. It is m0NESY. First frag goes the way of the young man, and now he's up against Spinks. No idea as to where his position currently lies. 17 frags already picked up for m0NESY, and Spinks is taking his sweet time. He has to pick up the pace. Time is running scarce now. m0NESY up close, going to be combat AWPing, looking for that no-scope, has now spotted Spinks, is waiting for Spinks, but Spinks removes his head, and just in the nick of time, he should have this defusal. ENCE get their 6th, but it was so close.
Oh my lord, they needed it. They needed that round, but m0NESY, man, when that kid is alive, you kind of almost envision it. You can almost envision him clutching that 1v2, but Spinks, he gives ENCE a much needed round number 6 that came down to the wire. I liked it a little bit of an adjustment from G2 there. They went for they thought it was going to be mid to be fake, and then Nico, he just gets an opening pick. They immediately run towards short. It's a little bit of a surprise there that Jax just kind of peeking out wide. Hades getting that kill. Snappy doing everything he could there. Huge round, and Spinks able to clutch it out in the end. Crucial round, but still, G2 looking much more comfortable here on their map pick. And heading to the second pistol round, of course, we have Alexi B. Going to be taking one for his team. Couple of flashbangs. A kit for Jax. It's going to be a nade, a smoke, and another flashbang. So 3 flashes, a smoke, and a nade for the defenders. And for ENCE, Molly for short to enable them to get some control. And m0NESY burning in the flames. Still going to be peeking down mid, but doesn't find anything. But it's still going to stick around. And they're looking for these fights. And what a tap by m0NESY. And it's going to drop on down the madman, the lunatic, looking for more. A snore by m0NESY. Finally, he will be dropped. But that is bloody murder at mid.
Where did that come from? That's the question that's going to be bouncing around the heads of ENCE right now. m0NESY out of nowhere, just collapsing. And suddenly, Diha and Snappy, last 2 players left with over a minute to play with, and they're being flanked. And it is the Megalodon of Nico. They thought he was extinct, but he's about to chomp down if they don't pick up the pace, and there's the first one. Snaps onto the head, and that's going to be this round very much over unless Dha pulls a miracle out of his back pocket. He's surrounded. They know exactly where he is. They saw the bomb spill down before. Ooh. Nice shot onto Hunter, though. There's still time. There is still a way back into this round. It is going to have to be paid with in the blood of G2 players, and they are all healthy, mind you, so it's going to have to be headshots dished out aplenty. The positions are good. NiKo at this range is going to decapitate him, so the dream is dead, but G2 have picked up their 10th round and get the second pistol.
We're witnessing a tapestry of just violence from m0NESY. It's not a way to describe it. He has been... I mean, what is this? The first one, great stuff. Just drops down amidst the tees, flicks around, finds Spinks. I even thought he was going to find Dha over there, and m0NESY, he's just come alive. 20-9 in 16 rounds as a force buy will come in here. And m0NESY, okay, he's looking to challenge down mid, but he will be tagged on to 33 points of health. It's going to be falling back to a more safer, more passive angle. For G2, if you look at the buy, we have the two A1s in the hands of the cousins. That's NiKo and Hunter, quite a bit of utility as well, the MP9s. As Alexi B tucked in on the left-hand side of double doors. And NiKo buys Lonesome. Very, very capable indeed, alongside the young steward in the form of m0NESY. And just waiting. They're going to be going for the contact play. This could catch NiKo off guard.
It could, especially as m0NESY is now starting to move into position. The flashbang up and over. The peak's going to be behind it, smoke down, and NiKo chomps again. 2 kills, exquisite flashbang, the teamwork on point. And ENCE have been rumbled. Stuck on catwalk again. There won't be any flanking contingent just in yet on the side of G2, but let's be honest, they don't really need it considering they're up against Eagles, and NiKo is still very much alive on the catwalk side. Maybe on 43 HP, but that smoke is doing a lot of harm to the T's vision, and thus they must pull back. However, Hunter is here. He's on the prowl now, picking up the mantle from the cousin and seeing if he can maybe capitalize and pad those stats. There's one. NiKo with the assist. Molly down, stops any re-engage, forces ENCE out into the open, and at some point they're going to have to realize they have to die. They can't afford to let this one take too long, thus they take the initiative, but it's into G2's hands, and they close this out in style.
It's just sheer confidence from NiKo there. Just sheer confidence. 43 points of health in front of the smoke, just tapping away with an A1. And even when he knows he's going to be running out of bullets. And that's the one danger for using the M4A1. It's the fact that you only have the 25 bullets. So, firstly, this flash was just pristine. And they're just feeling confident. That's a dangerous G2. Just the individual prowess coming to play over here as, okay, m0NESY getting tagged back, but he, in turn, will tag Dha. This, of course, is pretty much... just a very light buy, a couple of upgraded, you can see a couple of Deagles being upgraded. It's going to be going for the scout buy, which is a bit surprising as Hunter trying to farm a little bit of cash, but the Deagles are starting to sing. Madden finding Jax, that is huge. That is massive. They have control of the B bomb side. He spots the CD2 would spawn as well. Now, the only problem here is they don't have a smoke to cross the bomb onto the bomb side, and they already have LXB pushed up close, looking to prevent that from taking place, and he will drop Spinks.
Not sure about that peek from Alexi, but he gets away with it. The bomb's now been spilled on the other side of the doors. They have to go back over, out into the wilderness, into the danger to even get the bomb in the first place, but the timing works against them. I actually think that NiKo may have passed in front of m0NESY and blocked the shot. Down to 1 HP now. They're both super low. However, m0NESY still puts the bullet to the head of Madden, and it's a scout battle at the end. Enemy at the gate style, as m0NESY trying his best to defend this site. The bomb is still spilled out just outside of long. It's still in an awkward position, but there is a bit of time to play with. And Hades, doing his due diligence, checking the angles, could all come down to timing. 1 bullet on either of these players, and this round should be done. Such an integral moment in this match. G2 could extend this lead, and with 25 seconds... now picking up the bomb, Hades has no idea that m0NESY's gone walkies, that he's actually gifted this site across. m0NESY seemed to think that maybe that rotation was coming in, but now he's about to get that confirmation. B site will be the final resting place of this round. Coming back in again is m0NESY. The barrel of the gun may betray Hades if he's not careful right now. It could be a no-scope that finishes this round. Oh, Hades! What a flick onto... what a ridiculous shot! I can't believe he's actually landed that.
What a round! What a round! What a round, Vince. Oh, they just got into each other's heads. m0NESY's like, he hasn't made a sound yet. Has he just legged it? Has it gone towards T-Spawn? What a shot. That was a fast scope through the edge of the box. And m0NESY, we've seen what this kid can do, but Hades, he's showing he can do it as well. A huge round for ENCE to win, as the buy is going to be coming in. For G2, though, they have guns aplenty. A couple of FAMASs, however. I know there are a couple of our fellow talent who aren't a big fan of the French rifle, but look at this, Nico pushing up mid. They're being aggressive. They're being in your face, and I don't think ENCE are going to be ready for this. 4 players making their way towards long. They have one towards T-Spawn, but Nico is making his way there, and that flash should be a tell for Spinks as a player nearby, but Nico does not continue to push any further. And with the amount of noise being made by ENCE towards long, the defenses of G2 to slowly start to congregate.
Well, we've had such a good match so far. We have plenty more to come up. Round 19, we'll see ENCE starting to pillage and pilfer on towards the A side. Molotov down to the back. There's Madden. There's a gap on that smoke, and Alexiv makes the most of this one way. Diha needs to be very careful, but sprays through and gets the reward before m0NESY bounces back with his AWP. Plays low. m0NESY continues to just orchestrate this devastation onto ENCE. They are not giving up and not relinquishing the site. They fend away the on-pushers and get a 12th round on top of it.
A massive hiccup the previous round, but they're able to counter back. They do lose a couple of players there, but those were the FAMASs, so still have the AWP in play. They're going to be feeling reasonably comfortable for ENCE, though. Actually, it's going to be G2 calling for attack timeout. I actually like that. Yeah, they know these rounds are pretty back and forth. They want to ensure that, considering the lead they had in the first half, they want to close this out as efficiently as possible, not allowing ENCE back into the game. And that's a way to do it, right? Sure, ENCE win that previous round, but then G2 able to smash it back and force ENCE to what should be just a very light buy.
Right, m0NESY has just seemingly been omnipresent in this game, and Blair, I was a bit worried. I thought, right, he got 6 opening duels, going his way. His opening kills were super high from middle T-side spawn. That's not really something you can consistently get success with on the CT side. Is this where he goes off the boil? The answer is a resounding no.
They've gone for the force, by the way. They've just gone for the force. It's going to be the full Hail Mary push coming in towards the B bomb side. And FAMAS doing a lot of damage as Diha finds 2, one being one of his teammates. And this B hit has come to a premature stop. Just Madden and Hades remaining, and they will just leg their way out of there. And they're actually going to be running all the way through T-Spawn very, very quickly indeed. And that means Alexiv, he won't hear them, but for them to cross on over towards the long doors, he should definitely spot them.
Yeah, this is such a great position because not only does it give him intel up middle if they're trying to push up catwalk, additionally now he's just going to have the early intel on the teammates as m0NESY drops the bomb down, and Alexi with the freest of kills, he's going to go for the shank right between the shoulder blades.
Oh my.
Insult to injury, money in the bank, but more importantly, G2 with a 13-7 lead on Dust 2.
This is a good-looking G2. There were a lot of question marks. And I was one of the doubters of the G2 lineup heading into this event. Apart from that incredible debut they had in IEM Katowice, G2 have been looking very, very shaky indeed. They had some very rough runs recently, and then to come into this tournament looking this clean against the upstarts in the form of ENCE, who have been, some people call them even the dark horse of this tournament, right? And the fact that they're coming with the game plan individually looking brilliant and looking very solid indeed. And again, I will have to echo our fellow analysts when they said that this is a must-win map for G2. And right now, they are solid. Nico and m0NESY are, I think, 11 to 2 in opening duels combined. If that's not a winning formula, I don't know what is. However, right now, though, this B bomb site, it's getting pincered, Vince.
Great flash out, though. It does isolate and stall this push for now. They don't get a kill off the back of it, although it was heavy damage. Now from this side of Madden threads the eye of the needle with a deagle headshot. Beautifully done. However, he's not around long to celebrate it, and Spinks may be getting blown to smithereens from Hunter's grenade. 1 HP on Snappy as well, and Hades, not much to really do as far as he's concerned. Snappy, try as he may, is running into the finished blockade of Alexiv. And Hades, last man standing, not for much longer. To be completely honest, though, it does feel like Hades has lacked a little bit of impact in this game, especially, Blair, if you compare him to his opposite number of Munacy.
Oh, absolutely. And I think one of this is something we've spoken about on the desk as well a number of times, would be how for the side of ENCE, you have the star, you have your superstar in the form of Spinks. You have someone like Mad and the impact he has, Diha as well. And the thing for Hades is we know how good he can be. But it's about the fact that he can be a little inconsistent. And right now, I think you hit the nail on the head. He has been extremely, extremely quiet, especially going up against a team like G2. You can't afford to have your star AWPer being this quiet. It's going 7 and 18 as opposed to 26 and 10 in the form of young Munacy.
Maybe a kill here on Hunter. Perfect crosshair placement. Didn't even have to budge. And yeah, do you know what the damning stat is? I think Munacy might actually have more opening kills than Hades has combined altogether. Snappy, though, will deal with the over-aggression of Alexi B, and that does open up a little business on long side.
Yeah, Alexi B may be getting a little too over-eager. He wasn't expecting the play to be boosted up there towards long doors early on, so he was pushing in because of the smoke, which he had lobbed in deep. So getting a little caught off guard is the IGL of G2. But still, 4 versus 4, pretty even Steven. Snappy is pretty low in health as well, mind you, and 52 points of health in Madden, making sure there's no one behind him. Bear in mind, he's got the bomb as Hunter just clotheslines Hades. But they're going to be pivoting back towards the B bomb side. And for G2, it's a 4v3. There's no need for Jax to budge from his position, as Snappy's trying his desperate best to try and sell this fake towards A. But Nico spots nothing, and that means Jax, he's ready at B.
He is completely in position. Only realistically needs to get 1 kill to be valuable. In the off angle, 1 or 2 with a silence element with the A1S. They had no idea, and he's going to punish them and spray him down. 8 map points now on the side of G2.
Even though I agree with Maui when he said like that this should be G2 taking it, and I did expect G2 to be, you know, pretty convincing on Dust 2. This has been a masterclass coming out from Nico and his band. Looking really, really solid, looking just individually fantastic. And ENCE, I gotta say, they look a little lost. G2 just seem to have the perfect read on whatever they're up to. This hyper-aggression, this almost, I wouldn't say no-respect style, but just like this controlled aggression coming out from the individuals, just catching ENCE off guard multiple times. We saw in the second pistol round as well, for example, Munacy just dropping down mid, getting 3 ridiculous kills. And the pain, it just continues, this symphony of destruction being orchestrated by G2. And Munacy with his conductor stick, I guess? Is that called a conductor stick?
Yeah. Maybe, I thought it was a wand, but I think it is. He's basically the puppet master, right?
Master of puppets? Yeah.
Exactly. Making them dance for him. Alexi B, though, the brains behind this operation, showing he can frag when it's called upon. Here is the man in question. Flick across, never in doubt. Diha hits the dirt maybe for the last time on this map. And Snappy and Spinks have to go above and beyond. Spinks tagging Nico heavily, but on 1 HP, Nico just slaps him out of the server for what should be the last time here on Dust 2. And Snappy will go the very same way. Domination from G2.
Absolute domination. The two hunters, hunters in the server, the 2 cousins, Nico and Hunter, ending that game, and I do believe it was 22, 23 kills apiece, and then of course Munacy, 27 frags, looking absolutely deadly. Great map overall coming from G2, and for ENCE, well, I mean, they're obviously not going to be gutted yet. They've been in similar situations in the past as well. Coming up next, obviously going to be Ancient, but that was a masterclass coming out from the side of G2.
Yeah, as you said, we expected G2 probably would win Dust 2. It was maybe a little bit closer than Ancient looked, at least in the stats, but winning Dust 2 in that way, that also makes me a little bit nervous now for Ancient as well, if they're going to continue to perform like that. Like, Munacy was a man